Keith Lamb, the former Middlesbrough chief executive, who passed away after a long illness on Thursday morning at the age of 77. We are about to get underway on BBC Radio WM on 95.6 FM, on DAB, on Freeview channel 722 and the BBC Sport website this evening. Villa with their white shirts, light blue shorts and white socks, kicking as we watch it towards the north stand at the Riverside Stadium. The referee this evening is Rob Jones from Merseyside, who was last in charge of Villa in that superb come-from-behind victory against Spurs in late November. Middlesbrough have made two changes to the side, which lost here against Coventry on New Year's Day. As we get underway at the Riverside Stadium, Alex Bangura and Hayden Hackney come in for Dale Fry and Johnny Howson as they switch to a back three, and you can see that straight away. Gary Thompson, the Villa legend, alongside me, how they've got the two wing backs and the three that will be watching John Duran tonight.
The danger is that John Duran can be the centre forward we want him to be, to get hold of the ball and cause problems. Then they'll end up having the back five because the spaces will be down the side of the three centre backs. Get me words out.
Well, there was a draw for Wolverhampton Wanderers at Brentford yesterday evening, a 4-0 defeat for the Saddlers at Southampton, a 1-1 for Blues at Hull. West Bromwich Albion against Aldershot tomorrow with Steve Herman and Tony Bomber Brown on BBC Radio WM from 1:45. Aston Villa with Clement Longley on halfway, playing it back to Esri Konsa, who's at the heart of defence this evening for Aston Villa, having played a number of recent games at right back. Moreno picks it up on the left-hand side, a member of the Villa squad who has won a domestic cup competition in Spain with Real Betis in 2022, won the final against Valencia on penalties by 5-4. Emi Martinez is another one who's in possession now, who's won the trophy with Arsenal. The other two, John McGinn with Hibernian and Clement Longley with a Barcelona side, and Lionel Messi, which helped them to a 4-0 victory against Athletic Bilbao. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 0. We played 90 seconds at the Riverside, and Villa just pinging it around in their own half, and Esri Konsa is making his 300th career appearance this evening. To his left-hand side, and Longley, who crosses over halfway. Moreno's in front of him, he feeds Ramsey instead. Bit of space to run into here for Jacob Ramsey. He's into the penalty area, left side. Just took a touch too many there, and Moreno was wrong-footed, and Middlesbrough, all in red, will get the ball away from their right-back area. It came off Moreno last, and there'll be a Middlesbrough throw-in on this near side.
Villa had the ball for the best part of 2 minutes. They finally started marauding forward a little bit. Got balls onto Ramsey. Ramsey's drove into the box. Middlesbrough have won the ball, but Middlesbrough have no out ball. They can't get the ball out. They've ended up getting a throw from it, but really you can't see how they're going to retain the ball to get themselves up the pitch at the minute. 30 places between these two sides in the football pyramid. Of course, Aston Villa second in the Premier League at the moment, Middlesbrough 12th in the Championship. Moreno has it on halfway on the Villa left-hand side, plays it back to Longley, to his central defensive partner again, Esri Konsa. Matty Cash back in the side on the right-hand side of defence this evening, but Konsa comes to his left instead, and Longley plays a high ball forward, looking for the run of Leon Bailey, who was in the penalty area. It's cleared away by the goalkeeper Glover, headed away by Longley, and Cash helping it on towards Duran, cleared by the Middlesbrough defence, but only as far as Ramsey. Back to Moreno. We play 3 minutes on BBC Radio WM, and almost all of those 3 minutes Villa have had possession. Leander Dendoncker, who won't want to remember the FA Cup last season at home to Stevenage, got sent off in that defeat to the then League 2 side. They've gone out to Maidstone, the biggest shot so far in the FA Cup today. Here's Longley, low ball forward to Ramsey, back to Konsa in the centre circle, had to stretch and track back to pick it up. Now Matty Cash on the Villa right hand side to Bailey. Bailey has been barged off the ball by the Borough man on that left hand side. Now Hackney, Isaiah Jones on the left, and sliding in there is Kamara. It will be a Middlesbrough free kick on that left-hand side. It was Alex Bangura, the Sierra Leone-born player, who was fouled there by Kamara. Back in the side, how important is Boubacar Kamara to Aston Villa, Gary, having missed the last 3 games with suspension? Massively important. I think people were saying that when he got the 3-game ban, which for something that wasn't particularly his fault, they did chance there.
Poor clearance by the goalkeeper there, Glover, but just didn't pinball in favour of Aston Villa, and Duran has been penalised for a foul on the Middlesbrough player bar Lasser, and it will be a free kick for the home side.
I think they were thinking that Kamara, the one game we'd miss him for would be Man United, and that's how it proved to be. But even so, at 2-0 up, we should be able to see the game through. But it's good to have him back.
That's good football from the home team as they play it forward towards Coburn. Out comes Martinez to clear, but the offside flag goes up on this near side. Josh Coburn, 5 goals for the man who was in the Sunderland Academy before joining Middlesbrough as a youngster. He scored in the FA Cup against Spurs famously in March of 2022 to give Middlesbrough the victory in that particular game.
Decent bit of build-up by Middlesbrough, and they actually released the centre forward. And what's happened to Villa's line? He's so organised that he's been played offside, but they have to just be a little bit careful with that, because with no VAR, you might be touch and go getting away with it.
Just going to come on to that, because I saw the replay. It looked very close.
That's right, yeah.
Very, very close.
He's timed his run very well. Bounce the ball out wide, goes into the centre forward. The centre forward makes his run. He's clean in. Keeper's read it though, but they have to be careful with that.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting evening without VAR tonight, won't it? With Ramsey doing well to keep possession for the side in white, and now Kamara crosses over halfway. 0-0 between Middlesbrough and Aston Villa on BBC Radio WM. Cash plays a low ball forward to Bailey on the Villa right wing, who's got Kamara just behind him in support. Boubacar Kamara wearing gloves tonight, playing it back to Ezri Konsa. It's not as cold as I was expecting here in the northeast.
I had the forecast yesterday and it said it was going to be a blanket of snow over the next few days, so I thought it'd be freezing up here, but it's not too bad at all.
Konsa has it in the centre circle for Aston Villa. Longley is to his left. Alex Moreno is hugging the left touchline. Clement Longley, the Frenchman, who plays a low ball forward now to Ramsey. Moreno is making a run in front of him. It's still with the Great Bar-born Villa midfielder. Now Konsa in the centre circle to McGinn, who's trying to turn his man Morgan Rogers. The referee Rob Jones blows a whistle and Villa have a free kick, which McGinn takes quickly to his left at Longley. Sheffield Wednesday have taken the lead in their cup tie against Cardiff. Josh Windass has scored there, 22nd in the Championship against 9th, but it's Wednesday who lead, and Windass with another goal.
Scored a corker the other night.
Cash back to Konsa, and now Longley again for Aston Villa, the travelling fans who made the 170-mile journey up from the Midlands in fine voice just away to our right-hand side in the East Stand. Now in the centre circle, in the penalty area I should say, is Matt Clark, who made 33 appearances on loan for the Baggies. Coburn lays it off tidily to Rogers, who tries to return the favour towards the Middlesbrough striker. Martinez is out of his penalty area to clear, and now Dendoncker on halfway. Lays it off for Kamara. This is nice football. Ramsey now picks it up and has some space to run into. It's a heavy touch, but he will keep possession. To his left is Duran in the penalty area. Duran with a powerful shot, diving down to his right. Glover makes a save, and it's an Aston Villa corner, the first of the evening.
Decent bit of build-up. McGinn lays the ball off to Kamara, who plays it out to Ramsey. Ramsey carries the ball, and Duran's just gone on the outside. He's picked the ball up, but he's shot, and it's on for the near post. I mean, it's a good strike in that, but you can do well to beat the keeper from there.
4 goals this season for John Duran, but none of his last 14. Powerful effort, opting for trying to catch the goalkeeper out of the near post, but Glover was equal to it. The Sydney sider, the Australian, in goal for Middlesbrough, all in green. Bailey has it now as he tries to clip the ball in, sliding in. Greenwood will concede another Aston Villa corner from this near side.
I think as a centre forward you've got to be prepared to have strikes from anywhere when you enter into the penalty area, but from that distance you're going to do really well to beat the keeper. Maybe carry it. He's got a bit of a dribble on him as well. Commit the man and see what you maybe get a penalty from that, but see if you can take someone on.
John McGinn raises his right arm on this near side and takes this corner for Aston Villa, left-footed inside the penalty area now, looking for Moreno to pull the trigger, but it's dealt with by the Middlesbrough defence, and Ramsey will play it back to Matty Cash in the centre circle for Aston Villa. Cardiff have missed 2 penalties in the first 5 minutes at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff 0. Callum Robinson, former Baggies man, has missed the second one. Goalkeeper saving both of those for Sheffield Wednesday. Moreno plays the ball across the penalty area, but it'll be dealt with by Lucas Engel on the far side. The Middlesbrough left comes infield to Coburn, who had the run being made by Bangura diagonally forward of him, but there's a foul on the Middlesbrough striker, and it will be a free kick for the home team, who are coming forward now with Morgan Rogers trying to feed it forward to Isaiah Jones, but got too much on that. It was way ahead of the right wing back this evening for Middlesbrough, Jones, and it's back with Emi Martinez in the Villa penalty area. 0-0 remains to score, 9 minutes played.
Jones hasn't even started to try to link up and Rodgers is picking the ball up. He's looking for an out ball. He's played it to Jones where he thinks Jones should be. Jones should be on his shoulder trying to make the run because of the high line, going against the high line. The ball, at times he's running, gets himself in, but he never made the run, and it looks like just a gave possession away. Villa now got plenty of the ball again and just enticing them to come onto them again.
Two head coaches watching on from the technical area. Unai Emery to the left, Michael Carrick with his hands by his side on the right hand side, the 42-year-old, both appointed in the same month actually, October 2022. Michael Carrick, the 42-year-old now, who of course played for Spurs and Manchester United. 34 wins, 8 draws and 22 defeats, a 53% win rate for Michael Carrick, who's doing a pretty good job, all accounts.
Well, you have to say, from last season, finishing the season, I thought Middlesbrough were absolutely superb. They're winning games, mind you. They did have some players on loan, Archer and that, who scored goals for them, but they did struggle at the start of this season, but they seem to be in and out at the minute. But they're an organised side and they will cause problems.
10 minutes played 0-0. Ezri Konsa has it just before the centre circle. To his right hand side is Boubacar Kamara. Matty Cash is making a run. Kamara just can't pick him out. Bangura got his body in the way. It will go out of play for a throw in on the far side for Borough. The capacity here at the Riverside is 34,742. It's pretty full tonight, isn't it? Just looking around, there's a few empty seats opposite us in the east stand, just to the side of the Villa fans. As Middlesbrough come away with it, the low ball forward towards Coburn. That was watched well by Konsa, who comes forward now. He was tripped, was he? No, says the referee, and suddenly for a moment it was 4-on-4 as Middlesbrough come forward. The ball threaded towards Bangura. Cash read it, stuck his leg out and wins possession back for Unai Emery's side.
And you can see why they want to use Bangura, because he has got some serious pace and very holding the line, coming from deep from the wide areas. He might get released, but the ball is a poor ball, got cut out by Villa. Villa now got possession of the ball, just keeping the ball and just moving the ball slowly. As I said before, a lot will depend on John Duran occupying the three centre backs, and then the space will be down the side for Knox and Bailey to cause problems.
0-0 at the Riverside. We were hearing that Sheffield Wednesday are 1-0 up against Cardiff. Chelsea are hosting Preston tonight in another 5:30 kickoff, and Swansea against Morecambe is the other game kicking off at this time. Kamara has it in the centre circle for Aston Villa. To his left is Jacob Ramsey. Moreno's in lots of space on the left wing. Ramsey comes back instead to Longley on halfway. Konsa has it again in the centre circle for Aston Villa. Has made 10 FA Cup appearances, 1 for Villa, 4 for Brentford, 5 for Charlton. He was sent off for Brentford in a 4-1 defeat at Swansea back in February 2019. Longley has it now for Aston Villa, just inside the Middlesbrough half, just in front of him, diagonally forward to Moreno now. Back to Longley again. Villa are enjoying the possession they're keeping, and they're slowly making their way forward towards the Middlesbrough penalty area. Matty Cash has it on the right hand side.
Yeah, we've got massive amounts of possession, not really going too far, not causing too many problems, not threatening too much, but when they get towards the final third, then it will speed up.
Duran's shot saved by Glover, the best they've mustered so far, as long way forward for the centre half. To his left and Moreno being watched closely by Jones. 1-2 with Ramsey. Moreno clips it towards the back post. Cash will dart in there and hit a shot across goal, which is cleared away by Matt Clark. And Cash ghosting in as he does so often from that right back area, right side of the penalty area. Low cross come shot. Clark was in the right place at the right time to clear it away.
Yeah, lovely little 1-2. And as you say, the ball's been played, just dinked in by Moreno towards the far post. I think Leon Bailey's going towards the goal. The ball's gone over his head. Matty Cash coming in, and he struck a shot which gets a deflection. But Matty Cash, early in the season, I think he got 3 goals in the 2 games, and he was looking very, very on fire, to be honest. And for Matty Cash, he'll be looking to get on the end of balls coming in from the left hand side as a right full back or right wing back, whatever he's going to be, to cause problems, because there's chances for goals there.
Kamara to Duran, good control to feed Ramsey now just to his left. Jones has stepped in, Ramsey's picked his pocket and won it back. Duran low ball across, cleared out of play by Clark. The flag has gone up though on the far side. It will be an offside, but that looked very encouraging for Villa coming forward there, Duran and Ramsey in particular. Villa
won possession, lost possession, all of a sudden Duran and Ramsey had combined. Ramsey's won the ball, played it to Duran straight offside, ball's been driven across the box, Clark's cleared it, but just little flashes. Villa just so they raise the gear, just raise the level a bit, and then Middlesbrough do have a bit of a problem. At the minute it's very, very slow, but all of a sudden they got the press on, they win the ball, they move the ball pretty quickly.
at Sport BBC WM if you want to get in touch with us on social media this evening. 08081 009956 to react to Daz Hale at the conclusion of this game, and indeed Saddlers fans and Blues fans travelling back from Hull and Southampton. Back from Rodgers. Van den Berg has it now on the right hand side, the Dutch teenager. Rodgers and Barlasser. And the home fans appreciating this because the side in red are keeping the ball and looking quite tidy as they're coming towards halfway here. It's Dan Barlasser, the former Newcastle United player. Square to the captain, Hayden Hackney, back in the side. He's had a groin injury, so he's missed the last couple of months, the Middlesbrough skipper. Now on this right hand side, Isaiah Jones. Infield to Hackney, who gets it back from Rodgers, looks up and plays a ball from right to left. That's a good looking ball as well, which has carved Villa right open. Bangura has it, left side for Middlesbrough, 3 in the box to aim for here. Still with Bangura, Cash did really well to stick out a foot and win it back for Aston Villa.
That's a great ball, Matthew Cash. They've utilised the ball. It's gone down the right hand side. They've played the ball out wide to Bangura. He's come inside and a little bit sloppy with his touch, and Matty Cash managed to stick his foot out and get the ball cleared. But Matty Cash was then in a problem where he's not 2v1. He's up against a tricky winger who's always looking to go outside him. He then decides to change his mind. He goes inside. Matty Cash puts the foot out and Villa get possession back. But that's the danger. The overload. Villa on the right hand side. Then the ball released to the left hand side. If you overcover, then you might have a problem.
Just about kept his balance, didn't he, Cash, on the right side of the penalty area. And it's the right back who has it for Villa now, Cash, who comes back inside to the man who's taken his place in recent weeks, Esri Konsa centre half this evening. Longley, ball forward to Moreno now, sticks out a left foot to try and take it away from Van den Berg. Moreno wrestling with the Middlesbrough teenager, but Middlesbrough again very tidily getting it away from a cul-de-sac in their right back area. Was there a foul by Longley on Rodgers? Yes, says the referee. You
have to say fair play to Middlesbrough. It's not like they're trying to smash the ball up to the centre forward Coburn and just get them to chase it. They actually try to play little triangles and get themselves out of any trouble they're in, and they've been quite neat and tidy on the ball.
And it will be a Middlesbrough free kick, which they've taken quickly and sent forward now by Hackney for the run of Jones. It bounces and spins out of play. He just appreciates the effort. Another one wearing gloves on this near side, the Middlesbrough right, Isaiah Jones. Throw in to be taken on the Villa left by Alex Moreno, making his 10th appearance of the season. 5 starts, 5 off the bench for the Spaniard, who did have an injury, didn't he?
It's a long one
of last season as well. Just when he looked like he was coming back, he disappeared again for a little while.
That's right. But when he came to Aston Villa, his start was absolutely superb. He was the outlet on the left-hand side. He delivered balls into areas. He caused problems. He tramped up and down. And then that injury was a massive setback. But Luca Dean came in, and Luca Dean did as well. He scored quite a few goals, and he made a few assists as well. So we have got two top players at that left-back position at the minute.
Taking it in turns, aren't they, to be helped with injury, the left-backs at the moment. Only 8 on the Villa bench this evening compared to 9 for Middlesbrough. 2 young goalkeepers, then Diego Carlos, Douglas Luiz, Ollie Watkins, Moussa Diaby, Nicolo Zaniolo and Tim Irugboon. Very disappointed will Zaniolo be not to be in the starting 11 tonight?
Ever since the kid's come here, I've not been a champion for him, but I think he's a very, very good player. He's built, he's very powerful, he's got good feet as well, and he has got a goal in him. He's got 2 goals in the last 2 games. You think this was the opportunity to get him on and just continue in that vein.
Clark plays it back to his goalkeeper Glover, who's kept 3 clean sheets for Middlesbrough. He's the second choice. Diangu's on African Cup of Nations duty now for Senegal, as Jones plays it back to Van den Berg. Got too much on that. Van den Berg stuck out a leg but couldn't keep it and play, and these are the sort of the cheap corners that often come to something, aren't they?
Happened to Villa against Man United. Longley was trying to do it. Maradona dragged back, gave away a corner. From the corner they scored the goal, which was the 3rd one. Silly things like that sometimes cost you. You have to make sure you don't do silly things like that, trying to play your way out, keep possession of the ball.
A look of anguish on the face of Michael Carrick as Jones and Van den Berg concede this latest Villa corner, their 3rd already. We played 18.5 minutes at the Riverside. Leon Bailey will take this corner for Villa. In it goes. It's headed away as far as Ramsey, who heads it to his right intelligently towards Alex Moreno on that far side, but it's dealt with by Rodgers, who plays a ball long to Jones. Conceded that corner. Ramsey comes across, twists and turns and does really well to play it back to his goalkeeper Emi Martinez.
Yeah, massive duty for Ramsey and the players on the edge of the box, because if the ball gets cleared, you've got to do your defensive duties. Ramsey's done ever so well there. Looked like he might be in a bit of trouble, but kept possession for Aston Villa. It just made sure the shot wasn't unguarded.
It's 0-0 as it is between Chelsea and Preston and Swansea and Morecambe in the 5:30 kickoffs in the FA Cup. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff 0. Southampton 4, Walsall 0 at 3 o'clock. And a replay for Birmingham City back at St Andrews. Hull 1, Blues 1. Brentford and Wolves drawing by that same scoreline yesterday evening. West Bromwich Albion to come tomorrow on BBC Radio WM. And it's a 1:45 start for a 2 p.m. kickoff. Konsa in the centre circle will drive a ball out to the right looking for Matty Cash. Cash has got Bangura on his back on the Villa right wing. Came off Cash last, he went to ground, and it will be a Middlesbrough throw in. It's
not the worst ball in the world. Cash and Moreno, they're your outlets, and if your winger tucked in, as it were, your wide player tucked in, for them they've got the space in front of them, they've got angles, go and play the ball to them and see what the problem they could cause.
Duran with a little flick to his right hand side, but it's back with Michael Carrick's team. Ball was given away to Leon Bailey. Bailey by the corner of the penalty area comes inside to John McGinn. Oh, and McGinn caught in possession, but Villa have it again on their left hand side. Clement Longley just sticking out a hand saying I'll take this one, playing it forward to Moreno. Ramsey just inside. Moreno comes infield. Moreno, who hasn't really got a right foot, you could tell as he thought about pulling the trigger and thought better of it, as Kamara. And now Cash has it with everyone apart from Martinez inside the Middlesbrough half. Kamara to his left and Konsa midway inside the Middlesbrough half here now, and Longley has it on the left. Longley with the ball in, but it's held by Glover inside his penalty area. And it will stay 0-0, 20 minutes played on BBC Radio WM.
Longley's carrying the ball on the left-hand side. He's looking to play the ball into an area. That's when you want your centre forward, John Duran. It's going to go towards the near post, as it were. Get yourself across the centre half and get a touch. Ball's been played straight into the keeper. Keeper's dealt with easily. But Villa have got an awful lot of possession. They're not too much tempo about it at the minute. And at this minute, there's no real problem at 0-0. But if they go 1-0 down, you have to raise the tempo and cause Middlesbrough more problems than they are.
Well, the last time these two sides met was in the 2018-19 season when Villa won home and away by 3-0. James Chester among the scorers here in a 3-0 victory. McGinn plays it into the penalty area and Jacob Ramsey. Left side of the box here for Ramsey, who's got Moreno behind him in support. He sends a ball in, which was in front of Dendoncker, and Cash can't keep it in play on the far side. It's a bit of a waste.
Yeah, Ramsey's got possession in the penalty area. He can go out inside or outside. He's decided to go on the outside, but he's put too much on the cross. And so Dendoncker's far post. You just need to, if you got past your man, just dink the ball so Dendoncker can go and attack it. He was never going to get that. It's going over his head. Cash can't get there either, and so Villa give away possession. Middlesbrough's
last victory here against Aston Villa was back in December 2004, and it's a who's who in terms of the goal scorers that particular day. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Joseph Desiree Job, and Michael Reisiger, the Dutch fullback, on target for Borough in that victory.
That is a proper blast from the past, that.
A long time ago, nearly 20 years now, as Ramsey is tripped by Isaiah Jones.
Yeah, he's coming at me from the back. Yeah, he's always going to get a booking for that. Like that's a wide player's tackle on someone running away from him. Like, he's never going to get it. He's wrong side, gives away the free kick. No surprise he gets booked. Villa got a man down as well.
Yeah, Ramsey is down inside the penalty area at the moment, but it's a yellow card for Isaiah Jones. That trip. Ramsey is getting to his feet, just watching to see how that might have occurred. It was Jones, wasn't it, on him, and
he's took him from the back. He didn't rake his Achilles or anything. He tried to get his foot round it, and obviously it was a blatant free kick, and he's obviously got booked for it. But it was an attacker's challenge, as it were, because he couldn't get round to make the tackle, so he's just gone basically through him.
Konsa is back to his feet as well, the Aston Villa centre half, as a trio of Villa players take some instructions from Unai Emery, John Duran and Jacob Ramsey and Alex Moreno as well, as Villa get the game going again. 23 played, 0-0 the score between Middlesbrough and Villa, and Ezri Konsa has it inside his own half. Konsa, who's got Longley to his left, and now Moreno has it just short of halfway. Back to Longley again. Now Kamara plays it back to Martinez. Villa are quite happy to keep the ball, aren't they? And they're quite happy about it being pretty slowly played as well. Yeah, well,
when Unai first came, Villa fans would be a little bit anxious and get the ball forward. Can we move the ball a bit quicker? But they find their way. They speed it up in the final third and cause problems from there. But they've got two wide players fullbacks, as it were, who do tramp on, who do cover ground, who have got the pace to go and join up and can deliver balls into areas. So, like, yeah, Unai knows exactly what he's doing. It's just sometimes you do want the tempo moved a little bit quicker. It's very, very slow, and it's very pedestrian. It goes to one centre back, the other centre back goes out to the fullback, comes back, and then eventually the diagonal.
High ball forward, the diagonal that Tomo mentions from Longley towards Bailey, headed out of play for a Villa throw-in on the far side. Villa have had the game's two best chances. Duran with a powerful shot on 7 minutes, a near post save from Tom Glover to keep it out, and Matty Cash with a cross-come shot which Matt Clark cleared inside his own 6-yard box. 0-0 the score on BBC Radio WM. You can join us on 95.6 FM, Freeview channel 722, DAB, and the BBC Sport website as well. We're everywhere tonight, Tomo, for Villa fans who join us, and BBC Sounds app as well, I'm told by Dan Sale in my ear. Free kick for Villa on the left hand side. John McGinn will take it. The referee Rob Jones is just pacing the 10 yards for the Middlesbrough player to stand, and he's taking his time about it, is Isaiah Jones, but he'll make his way there now as John McGinn prepares to take it. The brother of John McGinn, Stephen, was in the Wickham side that lost 2-0 at Villa, the last Aston Villa victory in the FA Cup back in 2016, so he has experienced more wins at Villa Park in the Cup than John McGinn. It's sad to say. What are you pointing at?
They got
Moreno, is it?
Did it against Man United when Bailey was behind the keeper. This time he's in front of the keeper, but obviously he's going to come out. But they're holding a very, very high line on the edge of the box.
There's a couple that did that against Burnley, I remember, as well before.
I think everyone's copying it out.
Yeah. McGinn then with the free kick into the penalty area. It's flicked away. It will be Kamara to chase it on this right hand side. He will leave it to go out of play for a throw in.
It's one of these games where Middlesbrough are quite content with Aston Villa having possession of the ball. They know Villa are going to have a lot of possession, but if they go one down, in their shape at the minute, they're hoping maybe they can nick something, get their nose in front, but if Villa go one up, then they've got to come out again, and then there will be holes to exploit.
Kamara, and now Conte back to the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez. It's Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1 in 2020 when the Argentinian won his FA Cup medal. Ball forward from the goalkeeper, dealt with by the Middlesbrough centre-half, and now Bangura back to Engel, who clears high and as far as halfway towards Coburn. Dendoncker with a loose header which Longley had to try and deal with. It's there to be won inside the Villa half, and Longley tidies up and feeds Matty Cash to his right hand side, who'll cross over halfway. Leon Bailey's in front of him, everything else is to Matty Cash's left. Back to Kamara it goes, a little trip on the Villa midfielder by Coburn, and Villa will have a free kick. Inside the centre circle, Dendoncker will play it diagonally forward to Longley, and now Moreno in front of him on the Villa left wing. Moreno running at Isaiah Jones, who's done well, the former Tooting and Mitcham United player on this Middlesbrough right hand side. Yeah,
Jones has got a lot of pace as well, so he's up against Moreno. It's a good match, and Moreno's tried to outstrip him for pace, but he's read it and he's got a toe onto it, and from that they got the throw in.
There are some interesting matchups, aren't there, tonight, with the likes of Moreno against Isaiah Jones, and of course on the other side Bailey against Bangura.
Yeah, you have to say Michael Carrick's had a look at this, and he's set them up in a way to cause Villa a problem when Villa lose the ball, but at the minute it's all set up nicely. This game's on a knife edge at the minute.
Well, the rain is teeming down at the Riverside, and Cash has played to his right hand side, and Bailey back in field to Leander Dendoncker just outside the penalty area, turns and plays it back to Matty Cash. Cash has got Conser in support just behind him. Conser looks up and plays it to his left, and Clement Longley engulfed inside the Middlesbrough half here, the Villa outfield players. Moreno on the left into the penalty area to Ramsey. Low ball across is blocked by Vandenberg, and the side in red come away with the ball in their right back area. Isaiah Jones, the 5-goal right wing back, and they've done it again. You mentioned it earlier on in commentary, how they like to try and play the ball around and get out of these cul-de-sacs, and they've done well to ping it around and take it as far as halfway of Middlesbrough here.
You have to say, fair play to them. They've shown an awful lot of courage to receive the ball in areas in the penalty area, get themselves on the half turn, get themselves playing forward. They've worked themselves at least 3 times out of very, very tight situations. Fair play to them.
They're not just lumping it forward for Josh Coburn, are they? They are tidily playing it around in their defensive area when it would be easier just to clear it long. Out to the right hand side it goes, and Jones out of play from Moreno.
Thing is, if they do knock it lump it up to Coburn, or he's got somebody to chase. They've got to get up quickly and go and support him, because he won't be able to retain the ball for too long. He's on his own, he's isolated. There's at least 30 metres between him and his midfield players at the minute.
0-0 the score. Jones on the right hand side for Borough, twisting and turning infield. Kamara sliding in to win the ball as the referee gestures there. He was pointing at the yellow ball as it made its way back towards Martinez, just to say, look, Kamara's won that fairly, and Villa will come away with it, with Longley, who's seen a lot of the ball so far, the Frenchman who has started the last 4 games now, 3 in the Premier League.
He's exactly like Pau Torres, where he's got good ability on the ball, he can carry the ball, he's got good delivery. He's not at the level of Pau Torres, but he's a very good footballer, and he will see an awful lot of possession. You just want him at times to move it a touch quicker.
Kamara will curl a ball forward towards Ramsey, dealt with by Van den Berg.
Well done.
Moreno was just trying to nip in there, but again, Middlesbrough dealing with it on their right hand side, and Rodgers will come away from Dendoncker. He's trying to play it from right to left, and well, I don't think Coburn had spotted where the ball had pinballed around to on that right wing, because he was caught a little bit flat-footed there, and I think the fans were pointing where they wanted their central striker to go, but Villa have it back.
Yeah, he started his run. I think he took a deflection off at one of the Middlesbrough players, and ended up, or was a Villa player, and ended up releasing Coburn, but he was away from the ball edge, back to the play, and the crowd had to give him a clue as to where the ball was.
Replays for Blues and Wolves in this third round. 4-0 defeat for Walsall at Southampton earlier on. Villa coming over halfway, 0-0, just over half an hour played at the Riverside Stadium between Middlesbrough and Villa. Moreno will send a ball in, it's dealt with by Clark, gets a head to it, but Villa still have it on the left hand side, and Moreno sticks out a foot towards Longley. Again, a long way forward, the centre half here, but again Middlesbrough are reluctant to clear the ball long, and it was well played by Barlasser to keep it in. Sometimes they probably do need to clear it long, because they are just in danger of giving it away. There was a moment there, I hear a little groan from the fans around us that Isaiah Jones maybe showed a little bit too much of that to his marker. Well,
they invited Villa on to the press 2 or 3 times, and they found a way to work themselves out the problems they were in. They worked nice little triangles, got themselves free, but they showed an awful lot of courage and belief on the ball, and fair play to the manager who's instilled that into them. Wherever you are, not lose composure, not just smash the ball away, keep possession of the ball. The way things are looking now, you would feel Villa will nick the ball and cause them a problem in the final third. 0-0
on BBC Radio WM. Steve Spooner and Matt Sadler interviews for you at half-time of this game, which is about 13 and a half minutes away. Lucas Djukovic and Donovan Daniels, the Blues and Walsall players respectively. Djukovic on target for Blues today at Hull in their 1-1 draw in the 3 o'clock kickoff. Southampton 4, Walsall 0. I was mentioning Baggies hosting Aldershot tomorrow in the early afternoon. Longley with the ball out to the right hand side to release Leon Bailey. 3 in the box here for Bailey to aim for. Cash is making an overlapping run. Bailey with a left-footed ball in, which is deflected up. It will be dealt with by the captain Hackney, and now Middlesbrough will have it on their left hand side, and Coburn, who's crowded out by 3 white shirts, and Villa win possession back with Esri Konsa. Again Longley coming forward from centre half. Longley threading it forward to Jacob Ramsey. This might be a chance here, left side of the penalty area. Ramsey over the keeper and over the bar. Well, he's wanting a corner, he's going to get one as well from the referee Rob Jones, but Ramsey caught in 2 minds really. He had a couple of players to his right hand side, but he's chipped a ball towards goal, which is deflected over the bar, and it'll be a Villa corner. Yeah,
John Duran threw his arms up in the air because he was saying Ramsey could play the ball to me, but I'm looking at it, Ramsey had not too many options at all, and he's got the ball at his feet, he's ended up having a strike, not getting too much on it, keeper's got a touch on it, gone over the bar, but it's a nice little opening for Villa, but they've got the ball to Jacob Ramsey in and around the penalty area where he can cause a problem.
And they've taken a corner shot, and a header goes over the bar from Leander Dendoncker. McGinn to Cash, and a good looking ball in, which is flicked over the bar by Leander Dendoncker. That was very close to breaking the deadlock for Aston Villa going forward, but it stays 0-0.
You do feel as if it's only a matter of time. Villa not monstering them and getting ridiculous amounts of possession, but they have good possession. Middlesbrough are working the ball and working the ball out, but actually giving away possession again. They can't retain the ball up front for too long, and Villa picking the ball up and causing them more problems again. So it seems it's only a matter of time for Villa get the first goal.
McGinn's done well to win the ball back in midfield, and now Dendoncker went really close just now. Kamara diagonally forward to John Duran. Duran will let go of the shot, and it's a diving save to his left hand side by Glover to keep it at 0-0. I think it will be a throw-in because Engel has done well to keep the ball in play by the byline, but Duran letting fly from 25 yards and sprawling to his left. Glover makes a good save.
Yeah, so Villa win the ball just on the edge of the final third. Ball gets played into John Duran, just knocks the ball out of his feet, and as you say, one thought in his mind, a good strike. Keeper's got down to it, got a good hand on it, and but the ball's gone out for a throw. But Aston Villa, every now and again, if you're getting in and around John Duran, he will look to shoot. He's not really looking to go and link the player too much. He wants to strike at goal.
Well, the Colombian, the 20-year-old's had a couple of efforts now for Aston Villa. It's a powerful shot in 7 minutes, and now Kamara's gone down. He wanted a foul, referee says no. Played forward to Rodgers. Chance here for Middlesbrough for the first time tonight, and Martinez is down to dive in his near post to concede a corner. Rodgers denied.
Gets a move from the crowd, but to be honest, it looked like a foul to me. Ball's been played inside to Rodgers. He's checked back inside. He's gone on the outside. He's going to do well to beat the keeper from there, but you can hear the crowd now give him something to hang on to.
First chance of the game for the home side, with Rodgers' shot very similar to Duran's on 7 minutes, wasn't it? It was a powerful one at the near post, which the goalkeeper you'd expect to save, but he did well. Martinez diving down to his left.
Just showed a bit of pace on the outside as well, picking the ball up. He then checks to go inside, goes on the outside and gets his strike off.
Morgan Rodgers, who has 6 goals this season, a Hales Owen-born former Baggies youth man. Corner then for Middlesbrough on this near side, which Barlassa will take. Will drive the ball towards the edge of the penalty area, and Cash is there to head it away. Probably off the training ground, that one, but it's not got very well for Michael Carrick's team, because Barlassa is in an offside position on the right wing. The flag goes up and Villa have a free kick.
Yeah, Carrick won't be too happy with that. They've got possession, they played the ball into the penalty area, it's been cleared, but as he comes back to it, Barlassa, he's got to make sure he can see along the line, receives the ball, plays it into an area. Now they want the Middlesbrough players to put the press on, but they're still a bit reluctant.
It's Villa's turn to ping the ball around inside their own final third here. They played it forward as far as Ramsey, 10 yards inside his own half. Now McGinn first time towards Duran, who'll chase this. Clark does well to spin away. Ramsey's down again for Aston Villa, and the referee has blown the whistle. The home fans aren't too pleased with that. It's not a head injury, but Ramsey is down inside.
When you see the
half.
challenge, Ramsey's picked the ball up, he's turned, as he's playing it, he plays the ball and he gets caught after, and so he goes down, but Villa keep possession of the ball. Referees let the play go on, but he did catch him there, and he did look not nasty, but it wasn't the best looking challenge.
Rob Jones has given out 1 yellow card this evening already to his namesake, Isaiah Jones, who's in the book, but as Ramsey makes his way back to his feet, just watching the challenge, a little bit naughty late by Hackney there, wasn't he?
Yeah. You can see Ramsey's already played the ball, and he's caught him well after. Ramsey is not happy, but he's been caught twice now in a short space of time.
Conza's picked up a yellow card, presumably for complaining.
Yes, that will be voicing his disapproval of what the referee's decision so far.
He's in the book for the 4th time this season, Esri Konsa. Drop ball, which you fancy will be uncontested here, and Rob Jones drops it for Clark to play it to his left-hand side. And Lucas Engel, the Dane, playing on the left side of a 3 tonight. And now Clark picks the ball up again. The 27-year-old Suffolk-born centre-half looks up and plays a curling ball forward, looking for Jones, who barges his man off the ball, Moreno, and the home fans been encouraged by the last few minutes here from what they've seen from their team. But now Ramsey will come forward for Aston Villa. Ramsey on the left hasn't got too much support. He's been crowded out by a couple of red shirts, and on this near side it's cleared away. Rodgers getting the ball off Dendoncker, but it did come off the Middlesbrough number 10 last, and it will be a throw-in for Aston Villa on this near side. 0-0 the score, 7.5 minutes remaining at the end of this first half on BBC Radio WM, on 95.6 FM, on DAB, on Freeview Channel 722, and on the BBC Sport website and BBC Sounds app, as Moreno slaloms his way infield. Back out to his left-hand side, and Ramsey plays it across to Matty Cash, who says to Kamara, I'll take this one. Cash on the Villa right, looks up, drives a ball to his fellow full-back Moreno, heads it. It's cleared up really rather than out by the defender Vandenberg. McGinn in the D, back to Kamara now. Cash making a run outside him on the right hand side. It's flicked back instead to Bailey. Bailey slaloming his way to the penalty area here, but he's shown a bit too much of that to the Middlesbrough defence, who will come clear with it. But Cash has stuck out a foot and won it back, and there in strongly on Kamara is Greenwood, and it will be a Villa throw-in on the far side, which Cash takes. Dendoncker to Longley again, for not the first time tonight. All the Villa outfield players inside the Middlesbrough half. Longley a long way forward again, the centre-back. The Frenchman turns and plays it back to Dendoncker, who's just slotted in alongside Konza just for a second as Villa come forward. The rain continues to team down in the northeast. Konza just waits for a little while, see what's available to him. Plays it forward to Kamara. Now Matty Cash. Villa very patient in their build-up. Bailey now on the right wing. Comes inside, looks up, chips a ball to his left-hand side, and Alex Moreno chests it down. There are 4 white shirts in the box to aim for here. For Moreno, the clip towards the back post towards McGinn, dealt with well by Lucas Engel, and Bailey was pushed in the back there as Middlesbrough win a throw-in on the far side.
The game's caught fire just a little bit. The crowd,
Bailey's got to be careful now.
Both crowds are getting upset a little bit. The players are just getting into each other. There's a few challenges. They're a little bit naughty. Neil Bailey's just been knocked to the ground there. He's having a little word as well, but yeah, the game just seems to have stepped up a level, and now all of a sudden it's getting to the stage where all you need now is a goal.
Bailey's in the book for the 5th time this season, and again I think like Konza, it's been the dissent that the Villa players have shown to the referee, or indeed the linesman on that far side. Bailey wanted a foul. He thought he was pushed in the back unfairly, but it will be a Middlesbrough throw-in by the corner flag. Inside the road.
He was pushed as well, but obviously if they think they can get into you by causing you problems and stepping onto you and some of the late challenges, if they can wind you up a bit, they will keep doing it. So obviously you can't show that you're annoyed with it. Just get on with the game, because your greater ability will shine through. Villa have had so much possession of the ball, just not causing enough problems in the final third as of yes.
0-0, 40 minutes played. Bounces for Duran, and he's scuffed his shot towards goal, unfortunately. And Gary Thompson, you're a frustrated man to my right hand side.
Just a bit of composure there. The ball bounces. I think the centre half tried to half nick it. He's gone the wrong side. John Duran's got a chance. He's aiming for the volley, and he's aiming for a wonder strike. But if you just compose you there, you can carry the ball in towards the keeper.
Villa threatening to come forward again with Kamara trying to feed McGinn, but it's been cut out by Barlassa, who feeds Bangura on the left-hand side. Low ball forward to Greenwood, who'll keep the ball in play and clip it back, looking for Coburn, headed away by Konza, and the shot goes well wide in the end by Morgan Rogers. But again, Middlesbrough of late have been asking a few questions of the Villa defence. Rogers, the Hales Owen-born youngster, couldn't keep his shot on target. Sheffield Wednesday have gone into a 3-0 lead now against Cardiff. It's a hat-trick for Windass in that game against a Cardiff side who, remember, in the first 7 minutes had missed 2 penalties in that game. But that's the only 5:30 kickoff. I think there's got a goal so far. Chelsea 0, Preston 0, and Swansea 0, Morecambe 0. I think it remains elsewhere around the country in the FA Cup.
Windass has been linked with I think it's an Argentinian team, saying it's very interesting taking him over there. It just come to me eye the other day when he scored the great goal last week. Now he's got another 3. He's hot.
We were talking about Duran on the way up, weren't we? Rumours that he might be going out potentially on loan.
I think there'll always be rumours as soon as the window opens. You're linked with a million players. It's just whether we get any.
McGinn has lost possession inside the centre circle, and he's tripped Barlassa. It'll be a Middlesbrough free kick, and you've seen the last 5, 6, 7 minutes Gary Thompson and Michael Carrick's side are increasingly getting into this game. Yeah,
I think the fact they've got a few Villa players riled as well, they've got decent possession of the ball, they are decent in possession of the ball as well, they're getting a couple of free kicks, they're getting balls into decent areas, they're starting to cause Villa a few problems, but Villa are quite composed in how they're playing, and Villa are well organised as well, so it's going to take a little something special for Middlesbrough to beat Villa's back line, but at the minute they are coming back onto the game.
0-0, Steve Spooner and Matt Sadler to come at the break after the Blues draw at Hull and the Walsall defeat at Southampton in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Matty Cash fairly plays the ball forward to Bailey. Now John McGinn in a battle in midfield, and Kamara will help out, and now for all of a sudden it's 3-on-2 here as Villa come forward. Leon Bailey plays it from right to left, but it's behind Jacob Ramsey, and there was a sea of red that got back to defend, and they clear the ball away. But again, Villa camped inside the Middlesbrough half as they come forward here with Jacob Ramsey. Moreno in support. Ramsey feeds Moreno. I don't quite think he wanted the ball there. No. It pinballs off Azar Jones out for another Villa corner.
Ramsey's got the ball left hand side. Moreno's making a run. He's making a run to take the player away, and Ramsey's played the ball to him, and Moreno ends up hitting it. Hits the lad, goes out for a corner. Villa get a corner from it, but it was a poor loss of possession.
Matty Cash is offering himself for a short corner again. John McGinn, the Villa skipper on this near side, will deliver with Longley and Konza forward from the back, then Donker pushing and shoving just outside the 6-yard box. McGinn will send the ball in now, which has gone out of play I think before it went back in. That's what the linesman is signalling on that far side. It was the opposite of what Douglas Luiz does, wasn't it, in terms of the bending that he does. Luiz, the man who's on the bench this evening, McGinn going the other way, the outswinger which went out before it came back in.
But decent setup from the corner as well, because Conza started towards the middle of the goal, almost near post white, and as the ball's been kicked, he spins round the back, and he's the one that actually heads the ball back, and it's been given as the ball went out of play, gives away possession. But it's a decent free kick and a decent idea as well, because Middlesbrough are congested in the penalty area in the 6-yard box, and I don't think they're going to give the keeper much room to come and attack the ball.
The eye-catching scorelines in the FA Cup today: Coventry 6, Oxford 2, Maidstone beating Stevenage. That's the big shock so far in the Saturday kickoffs, as of course George Elokobi, the former Wolves man, in charge at the side in the National League South, who have beaten League One Stevenage, and Steve Evans, who won't be a happy man tonight. Good work by Barlaser in the centre circle. Now Greenwood plays it forward to Bangura, low ball across, Coburn can't reach it, and it's sliced out of play. There's a comedy of errors for Middlesbrough coming forward. Jones with the final attempt on the far side there, right, with out of play it goes, and it will be a goal kick for Aston Villa. But that was a real opportunity, a good ball in from the left hand side from Bangura. Coburn just couldn't connect. Jones did, but he slices it off target. Yeah,
a decent bit of play from Middlesbrough. They broke out really quickly, got the ball out wide, nice and early, into Bangura. He doesn't need to take a touch. Ball's been played into an area, and Coburn can't get across it, and Rodgers comes at the far post, and he's fully too straight, so the ball goes out for a goal kick. But that's a decent bit of play. They're trying to catch Villa on the counter. They are set up in a way to catch them on the counter, nick themselves a goal, and all of a sudden then they've got somebody to hang on to. But the minute you're still 0-0, you look at the Villa thinking they're going to get the goal, but on the counter, on the break, Middlesbrough do look dangerous.
Well, in the lunchtime kick-off, Newcastle won 3-0 at Sunderland. Sheffield United, no banana skin there. They beat Gillingham by 4-0. Brighton, they had a scare, but they won at Stoke 4-2 in the end. We're into 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half, which has gone fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Villa have had some good chances. Duran with a couple, a powerful shot on 7 minutes, which was saved by Glover, and a diving save by the Middlesbrough keeper on 34 to deny the Colombian striker, who's in for Ollie Watkins today.
It's a great opportunity for John Duran. I mean, he's got all the attributes. You look at him, he's quick, he's strong, he makes decent runs, he has got a goal in him as well. He just needs to get a consistent run of games going when he comes off the bench and causes Ollie Watkins a problem, because at the minute Ollie Watkins is the main man.
Well, Middlesbrough are ending the half strongly. They're on the right wing as the referee, Rob Jones, blows his whistle. 0-0 is the score at half-time. Villa have been very patient in possession and have created a few chances going forward. John Duran, I was mentioning just then, the Colombian striker, in for Ollie Watkins, one of 4 changes made by Unai Emery for this game. A powerful shot from Duran on 7 minutes, saved at the near post by Glover, and then on 34 the Middlesbrough keeper diving to his left to make a good save. Cash has had a cross-come shot which was cleared by Matt Clark, the Middlesbrough defender. Ramsey with a chip which deflected over, and Dendoncker, probably the best chance for Villa, with a header just over the bar from a Cash corner. But I'll say Michael Carrick's team coming into the game as the half wore on. Rodgers with a shot which Martinez did well to save at his near post, and then just as we closed in on half-time, Jones with an effort which he sliced off target. So at the break at the Riverside, Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 0.
So Gary Thompson, it looks like Villa are the home side, doesn't it? They've been in total control, but apart from the Dendoncker effort, I think they've nearly pretty much all been like half chances so far, haven't they?
Yeah, lots of possession, not really threatened too much. Trying to work almost a perfect opening. They had, as you say, a couple of half chances. John Duran's had a couple of strikes, which really it could have done better. We've maybe gone across the goal, but this game could go either way, because Middlesbrough nick a goal, Villa have to come onto him, but vice versa. Villa nick a goal, Middlesbrough have to come, and then that will open up. Middlesbrough come onto Villa, there will be spaces opened up. But if you're Michael Carrick at the minute, you've been set up, you set your team up very well, you're very organised, you're looking like you can cause Villa a problem on the break. So at 0-0 half time, Michael Carrick would be delighted. Unai Emery will say, just keep doing the same thing, we will score a goal.
Yeah, and I think the other thing as well, which you both picked up on in commentary, was just to just watch the back chat a little bit. That's 2 yellow cards now for dissent, and it only needs, one moment like that, and it completely changed the feel of the game, couldn't it?
Well, that's it. You get a booking early on, so something silly like shouting back at the referee, and all of a sudden, like, you make a challenge where you're just a split second late, then you're down to 10 men. So you have to be very, very careful. don't get wound up, because lower division teams, I say lower division, Championship side against an Aston Villa side, they will try and cause them problems whatever way they can, with a nasty tackle. Just get people, get their goat, get them annoyed and that, get them out of the rhythm. So you've got to be very careful how you approach this, especially the second half.
So it's Tom and Tomo at the Riverside, Tom Marlowe and Gary Thompson. It's goalless at half-time. During the half-time interval, we'll get some dressing room reaction from our 3 o'clock kickoffs.
Daytimes
with Cass Stan Cheshan.
As a consequence of some of the success of Peaky, I'm setting up a film and television studio in Digbeth, which is going great guns. We are building the new MasterChef studios. We've got other big franchises, which I can't talk about, which are coming. We've got Netflix coming, we've got the BBC coming.
Many of us who have been banging on about Birmingham's potential for a very, very long time, it feels quite exciting that something's actually happening.
You know, there's all these great big things that have come out of this region that we don't really talk about. And so I think it's time for us to own all of that.
Cass Stan Cheshan.
Monday to Thursday mornings from 10
on BBC Radio WM. BBC Radio WM Sports.
So it is BBC Radio WM Sport on FA Cup third round weekend. Last night, Wolves, despite playing for 81 minutes with 10 men, came from a goal down to get a replay at Brentford. So they're in the hat. Tomorrow afternoon, it's West Bromwich Albion against National League side Aldershot. We'll have that live as well. And at half-time at the Riverside, Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 0. So our 3 o'clock kickoffs. Well, for Birmingham City, they held to a replay, and which I think most people would have took before the game, held to a replay by Hull after conceding a late equaliser on Humberside.
Placed out wide towards Drame as Blues get 4 men forward. Drame with the cross, Djukovic! Oh, what a fine header that was! Blues take the lead, a firm downward header by the striker on his comeback, and he's quick to congratulate Code Drame for that teasing centre down the right hand side. And 2 of the 7 changes pay dividends for Birmingham City in the 17th minute on Humberside. Could this be the start of the recovery? Hull 0, Blues 1. Tyler Morton on a sub. Goes on the edge of the penalty area. This could be dangerous. Connolly down the right, trying a shot, and it's stumped in. And Hull have equalised in the closing stages. Regan Slater, I think, got the touch at the near post. It was knocked forward down the right-hand side. Initially, the shot was saved by Neil Etheridge. Slater at the near post. The touch came in. It went into the bottom corner. Hull 1. Blues 1.
And there was no FA Cup fairy tale for Walsall, who were beaten 4-0 at Southampton.
But Walsall are not seeing much of the football in these early minutes, and much as we'd want them to steady it, it's Southampton's job to unsteady Walsall, and they're doing that again with the ball clipped in. Fraser started his run early and scores an excellent goal from the edge of the penalty area to put Southampton in front in 6 minutes. Ryan Fraser clipped that in very efficiently. His run started from the left. He was tracked by Knowles, but not in time, and he took a touch before guiding it past Smith into the corner, and it's Southampton 1, Walsall 0. Driving over the halfway line comes Southampton here with a counter-attack, moved on by Alcaraz. Fraser, left side of the area, finds Mara, turns and scores the second goal. A really well-constructed counter-attack from Southampton, and Mara gives them what could be a winning lead at 2-0, 12 minutes into the second half. Sweeping down the left, Fraser involved once again, and Mara allowed just enough space near the penalty spot to turn and fire his shot high beyond Smith. And with a 2-goal cushion, Southampton seemingly on their way to round 4. Southampton 2, Walsall 0. Pass played forward through the centre, intercepted by Daniels, but it's quickly coming back from Smallbone, and a good touch from Alcaraz. Gets it back from Mara, Alcaraz to Fraser. Oh, an unlucky deflection makes it 3-0. Fraser was trying to bend the shot. Whether he'd have bent it enough, we'll never know. But it bent off the boot of Okagboy as he dived in to try and block the shot, and that made certain that it would beat Jackson Smith. And Ryan Fraser will claim his second goal in what is becoming a comfortable margin now for Southampton, leading Walsall by 3 goals to 0. Fraser nudges the ball in field to Alcaraz, and he's found Jay Adams, and Adek Boyega's getting back, but not in time. And it's 4-0.
So Mike Taylor, your commentator there. We'll hear from Blues interim head coach Steve Spooner shortly, but first, let's get the thoughts of Matt Sadler speaking to Mike after that 4-0 defeat at Southampton.
Matt, that was a noble effort by your lads.
Yeah. You always want to come out with the positives. I thought we all saw Bar. Firstly, it was a sucker punch to concede so early, and we had to shuffle things around because of the nature of how the game was kind of playing out. I just felt like that we were sitting ducks for the first maybe 20-25 minutes, which again I've watched a lot of their most recent games, and they're doing exactly that to top teams in the Championship. So I was fully aware of the challenge up ahead. The important thing for us was to make sure we came out of the game with positives, with somethings, and those key moments when we had the chances that we had. We unfortunately didn't convert, which would have obviously made it a different game and a different, or could have been that magical moment that we were all searching for. It wasn't to be today, but it's make sure we take the positives from the afternoon. And for me, that's that this group, our group, the group of players that we've got right here, they're desperate to do something. They're desperate to build together, and there will be many big moments ahead for us. And if we can draw on any of those experiences tonight in the moments that we have in the future, then it was certainly a worthwhile experience.
Yeah, and sometimes you do just come up against a good team playing really well.
They're an exceptional team. You don't go 18 unbeaten in the Championship without being an exceptional team. I think it was the Wrexham game, and they were playing on the TV in the background, and I think they had 81% possession against Plymouth. It was. So listen, that's the type of team that we're up against today, and we were well aware that everything probably needed to go in our favour today, and those key moments go in our favour. Some did, some didn't.
And that was Matt Sadler there speaking to Mike Taylor. We'll hear from Donovan Daniels a little bit later on. The other half-time scores, by the way, in the FA Cup third round from the 5:30 kickoffs. All the other games, Chelsea, Preston and Swansea Morecambe are both goalless. It's Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff City 0. Quite extraordinary first 45 minutes there, because Cardiff actually missed 2 penalties in the first 7 minutes, both saved by the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper Ryan Wintle and the former Baggy striker Callum Robinson, both missing from the spot. And it's been a hat-trick in the first half. Actually, it's now been downgraded. It was initially given as a Josh Windass hat-trick. We're now seeing as a Sawyer's own goal and Palmer. So they've taken 2 goals off him. So Romain Sawyer's another former Baggies and Walsall player with an own goal, and Liam Palmer now credited with the goal on the 40th minute. So what's gone from a hat-trick to 1, but still looks as if Sheffield Wednesday are well set for the 4th round, doesn't it? Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff City 0. So in the 3 o'clock kickoff then, Blues leading for so long at Hall, eventually pegged back to 1-1. So it's going to be a replay. Let's hear from interim manager Steve Spooner.
OK, Steve, how disappointing was it to concede late on, given your efforts in that game?
Yeah, very disappointing. To concede at any time, but when you're that near to the finishing post, so to speak, it's a nice way to win it, and it's not a nicer way to lose it. Well, not lose it, but draw. But I feel particularly sorry for the players, because they've given absolutely everything there. They've listened to what we've asked them tactically. They applied the game plan excellently. And at that one stage in the first half, we might have been 2-0 up. And, that looks a complete different game. But, very disappointed, but encouraged and buoyed by the level of commitment and how resolute and determined and resilient, all the words that would describe that. It was, very, very pleased for the players.
Disappointing it came from a mistake, but at the same time, defensively, to have brought in Kevin Long and Cody Drame, plenty of positives at the back overall.
Yes, I thought the unit looked very good. Yeah, very good. We spoke to them about 1 or 2 little things we thought we could do better, but I think Billy Sharp made a big difference to them when he come on. His experience, and as a credit to him, how fit and that he looks at that age, he made a big difference to their team. But I thought we was going to get over the line, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. But we're in the hat, and it could be a nice little earner for the football club again.
You brought on the likes of Keshi Anderson and Scott Hogan. Were you disappointed that you didn't build on the changes in that second half?
It seemed to fly by in the end. yeah, we would have liked to have made more of them opportunities, and we felt we had to make one or two changes because, say, the players put in such a shift that there was one or two creaking and getting tired, and the boys who come on, fresh legs, and they worked hard, they understood the shape and they applied themselves and slotted in nicely. So yeah, it's whilst it's very disappointing, there was a lot of positives in there.
On a personal level, is it satisfying that you made 7 changes and they turned in that kind of effort for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I'm pleased. It's we're a group in there, and it's been very much the focus of this week that we're a group, and the staff have been very supportive, not just the footballing staff but the medical staff and the whole sports science, and they've been very supportive to me. They've helped me, so it was a real collection of people's efforts and it carried out on the team, and I think the team was a reflection of the whole staff and that today.
But I guess it's been hard work for you, has it?
Yes, it has, but 21s is hard work as well. But I think it's having to come in late and pick all the stuff up and try and come up with a plan between all of us of the way we could come in and compete and give a good account of ourselves.
You spoke to the media on Thursday. Since then, Tony Mowbray's name has been linked in the media. Are there any further developments from your point of view?
No, I don't know. I've not heard anything, and it isn't anything to do with me. It's a club thing, and they'll do it at the right time and appoint the right person. And whoever it is, I'm wishing the utmost success.
So, from your point of view, then, Steve, big game next weekend. You don't know, presumably at this point, how involved or not you will be.
No, I don't. Certainly not. No, I'll just report for training with the players on Monday and the rest of the staff, unless I'm told different.
And one final thought: the goal, Lucas Djukovic on his return, and Cody Drame shows what he offers for you going forward as well.
Yeah, delighted for Dukey, because you could run out of words to describe him as.
So that's Steve Spooner. We've run out of words from Steve Spooner because the second half about to get underway at the Riverside Stadium, goalless at the moment. Let's rejoin our commentary team of the former Villa striker Gary Thompson and BBC Radio WM Sports Tom Marlowe.
Great timing, thank you, Daz. Welcome back inside the Riverside Stadium. The referee Rob Jones just having a conversation with John McGinn, waving to both goalkeepers, and the Middlesbrough number 7 and captain Hayden Hackney gets us back underway with Middlesbrough kicking from right to left as we see it towards the north stand in this second half. Kamara pokes the ball away. I'll take you through the two lineups in just a second as Middlesbrough build on this left wing. 0-0 the score. Duran with a couple of chances in the first half, then Donk with a header just over as well. Greenwood with the ball in from the left hand side. There's Moreno to clear the ball away. Middlesbrough will stay inside the Villa final third here. Ramsey was in with a challenge on Morgan Rogers. The referee has blown his whistle. It will be a free kick for Middlesbrough about 35 yards from goal.
Middlesbrough have started a bit more on the front foot to start the second half. I would imagine he would have thought we get 0-0 after an hour, then we'll really let loose and go for it but they have started quite brightly and they have started playing in Villa's half this half.
Villa have Emi Martinez in goal, Matty Cash, Esri Konsa, Clement Longley and Alex Moreno. Then it's Boubacar Kamara and Leander Dendoncker. Leon Bailey, John McGinn and Jacob Ramsey behind John Duran up front. Middlesbrough then with this free kick. Greenwood is over it, so too Dan Barlasser. They have Tom Clover in goal, a back three of Rav van den Berg, Matt Clark and Lucas Engel. Azai Jones and Alex Bangura out wide, Hayden Hackney and Dan Barlasser in the middle, Morgan Rogers and Sam Greenwood supporting Josh Coburn up front. Referee Rob Jones blows his whistle. Middlesbrough take the free kick short to the right hand side, and Jones, now the ball sent in from the right wing. Konsa gets ahead to it and clears it outside of his penalty area. Greenwood picks it up, threaded forward by Barlasser, but Moreno read it and comes away with it for Aston Villa. Moreno to McGinn in the centre circle, just trying to spin away from his marker. Now Bailey inside the centre circle, crowded out. Duran just waving out his arms away to our right hand side, wanted the ball played a little bit quicker, did the Villa striker. Reminder, Diego Carlos, Douglas Luiz, Ollie Watkins, Moussa Diaby, Nicolo Zaniolo and young Tim Irigbunam are on the bench, alongside the two young keepers, Philip Marshall and Sam Proctor. You do wonder whether we might see them after about an hour, maybe, Tomo, if the game stays like this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 1-0 down, the big guns will definitely be coming on. If it's 0-0, the big guns will be definitely coming on. You'd like them to be coming on, whether it's 2-0 up or 3-0 up, and they can just get a 20-minute run out. It's
0-0 between the 7-time winners and the 1997 finalists. Middlesbrough lost to Chelsea on that afternoon. The future manager for Aston Villa, Roberto Di Matteo, scoring a very, very quick goal. His assistant Eddie Newton was on target as well.
Eddie Newton, yeah.
In that 2-0 victory. Villa's last success in this competition, of course, back in 1957, but they did beat Middlesbrough en route in round 4, and they have it on the left-hand side now with Alex Moreno. Low ball forward to Jacob Ramsey. 3 in the box to aim for here for Ramsey. Bailey and McGinn and Duran are there. Moreno coming forward down the left wing. Good defensive work by, on that far side, Isaiah Jones. Now Dendoncker plays it back to Konsa. And now Cash will drive a ball high from right to left, appreciated by Moreno. Waves a hand towards his fellow full-back. In there is Jones, and he's conceded a corner.
Alex Moreno was so busy applauding the ball at him, like, by the time he's got it down, Jones is on top of him. He does get a corner out of it though, but he did spend a little while just applauding. What's a wonderful ball there, dear boy.
The full-back appreciation society in full display there as Villa take a 6th corner of the game. 49 minutes in front of the Villa fans are in good voice. Leon Bailey will take it with 5 white shirts in the box to aim for. Longley and Konsa around the penalty spot here for Bailey to deliver short back to Jacob Ramsey, now to John McGinn just outside the D. Tipped over the bar by the goalkeeper Glover. That was from the training ground. You could see Austin McPhee watching on as John McGinn sweeps the ball towards goal. It's superbly dealt with by Tom Glover, who tips it over the bar.
As you say, extremely well worked, and you've got your set piece coach just doing a bit of more moonwalking, just letting everybody know that set piece was all about me there. But wonderful set piece and really well worked. By the time the ball gets played at John McGinn, he's got his foot round it, keeper's got a good touch on it though.
7th corner then for Aston Villa now, in front of the travelling fans. 350-mile round trip for the Claret and Blue supporters. Cash will send a high, deep one towards Moreno. Well, I don't think Moreno will be standing and appreciating that particular ball from the opposite full-back. It goes out of play and into the Borough fans. 4,000 have made the journey up the M1 and the A1M this evening to be here at the Riverside Stadium. Tom Marlowe and Gary Thompson with you. 50 minutes on the clock. Middlesbrough 0, Villa 0. Villa trying to win in the 3rd round for the first time since 2016. Spurs and Peterborough and Swansea, Fulham, Liverpool during COVID against the Villa youth team, Man United, and of course last season Stevenage, the 7 opponents to beat them in the last 7 seasons. Middlesbrough coming forward now with Coburn, who's been held up by Longley. Coburn plays it back to Barlasser, and now here coming forward is Hackney. Hackney trying to thread it between Moreno and Ramsey on that far side. The side in red have won it back, and Greenwood will look up and try and play it out to his left towards Alex Bangura, but he got too much on that and he goes out of play for a throw-in. 0-0 on BBC Radio WM, Gary.
Decent bit of possession for Middlesbrough. They've won the ball, and as I say, he's got play to Coburn. He held it up for the first time, held the ball, managed to get the ball out wide, but there's too much on it. It's gone out for a throw for Aston Villa. Villa just need to just pick it up just a little bit, because obviously they've had a couple of decent set pieces, but they really need to take the game to, they need the goal. They get the goal, and all of a sudden they can relax a little bit.
Voice of Gary Thompson on BBC Radio WM. 40 FA Cup appearances for the former Villa striker throughout your career, 7 goals as well, 4 in the FA Cup for Villa. There was a replay against Chelsea in 87, and only beat Leeds in the 3rd round before a defeat to Liverpool in 88.
Yes.
Semi-finalists with Sheffield Wednesday, of course, and cup tied when Crystal Palace went all the way before being beaten by Manchester United back in 1990.
Over 2 games. I have to say, the FA Cup's not been especially kind to me, even though I still love the FA Cup. Didn't do me too many favours.
Nor has it Villa in the last 8 or so years, as they try and rectify that. Duran coming forward now to Moreno on the Aston Villa left-hand side. He's got Ramsey and Duran in support. McGinn is the furthest man forward inside the penalty area at the moment. 52 on the clock, 0-0. Here's Ramsey getting to the byline. Low ball across. It's deflected out of play for another Aston Villa corner. They're up to 8 now. Jacob Ramsey showing what he can do on that Villa left-hand side.
Yeah, yet again, decent position for Aston Villa. The ball being worked from Ramsey, gives that to Duran. Duran knocks it off and pops it off and starts moving first time. Ramsey gets the corner from it.
Villa corner on the far side there left. Leon Bailey prepares to deliver. Duran, Concert and Longley together by the penalty spot. Dendoncker and Kamara inside the 6-yard box here for Aston Villa. Bailey delivers now. Concert's header off the post. Villa hit the woodwork, and Esri Konsa, on the occasion of his 300th career appearance, is denied by the post.
The first time Villa have tried loads of different ways. Just want to see what happens here. Loads of different ways to pierce the goal, but just a corner played in near post. Konsa's just got a touch on it, just a perfect glance, but he's gone and hit the post. But that from Villa is probably the closest they've come.
Konsa denied his first goal for a long time, December 2021. When he scored a couple against Leicester. Villa with another corner, their 9th of the game, in front of the travelling fans. It's again delivered by Leon Bailey, left-footed towards the back post, and Moreno! Oh, it's a volley over the bar from the Spaniard. That was a massive opportunity for the fullback in space inside the penalty area, but he's dragged it over the bar.
That's two chances in the first couple of minutes. I mean, the Konsa's header, I've just watched it again, was a great header. He's got a great flick on it, and this one he's gone deep to Moreno. Moreno shaped up, but he's leaning back. Ball goes over the bar, high, wide and handsome, but Villa are just starting to turn the screw a little bit. I did say this in the first half, and then Villa just steps off it, but they do look like they're pushing on to Middlesbrough an awful lot.
Well, the rain is still coming down at the Riverside Stadium, and Villa have had a couple of good opportunities in the last minute or so. Konsa denied by the woodwork, and Moreno should have done better in space. Villa's couple of corners delivered by Leon Bailey, and very well, I must say as well. Douglas Luiz, who takes them more often than not, is on the bench this evening. Oh, it's been given away now by Konsa. Middlesbrough with a chance to capitalise and exploit this. Barlaser encouraged to shoot by the home fans, but he showed too much of it to Kamara, and Villa get the ball away. A little push in the back there by Longley on the Middlesbrough man. The home side will continue as Cash,
here we go,
with a high clearance left-footed towards Duran in a battle with Clark here. Duran, and Clark's done really well.
Yeah, Clark's got his body in the way of Duran, and Duran's almost pushing and trying to wrestle with him, get his arms around him, but Clark, experienced player, he's done ever so well. They just got his body in the way, got possession of the ball.
Well, that Clark back pass towards his goalkeeper was very heavy and high, and Villa have it back on the left-hand side. Good looking ball in. Clark with a clearance away that was heading for Duran by McGinn, the Villa skipper, on the far side, but Clark, the former Albion man, is Longley does well to show his pace to get it back to Andy Martinez.
Ball's been played into the penalty area. John Duran, the centre forward, he's on his heels. He's got to be moving towards the near post. They're trying to dig the ball out. The closest they can get is towards the near post. Centre forward, make a run towards the near post, and someone else following behind.
0-0 it remains at the Riverside Stadium. Hull 1, Blues 1 at 3 o'clock. Southampton 4, Walsall 0. Brentford 1, Wolves 1 yesterday evening. Baggies host Aldershot tomorrow. The FA Cup 4th round draw is on Monday evening. Swansea 1, Morecambe 0 is the score in the FA Cup, a 5:30 kick-off championship against League 2. And it's Swansea who are ahead there. I think Chelsea are still 0-0 against Preston. Now a long ball played forward towards Morgan Rogers, who's got in behind the Villa defence. Rogers, oh, well played, Matty Cash to poke it back to his goalkeeper. The home fans are on their feet around us in the West Stand, but Cash did well, saw the danger and poked it back to his keeper.
Yeah, and Konsa picks him up, but he's checked back inside, never really going to cause a problem. He's checked back and Cash has read where he's going to go, won the ball, just rolled it back to him and picked him up, because the fans wanted a penalty, but that was never a penalty in that.
Bailey with the ball forward, cleared away by the Middlesbrough defence. Now Rogers in a tussle with Esri Konsa, which has gone the way of Aston Villa. The referee has deemed that a foul from the Middlesbrough midfielder Rogers, whose professional debut was for West Bromwich Albion in the FA Cup, a defeat against Brighton back in February 2019. He scored the winners against Birmingham and West Bromwich Albion in the Championship this season as Morgan Rogers, and he's looked a little bit of a threat in recent minutes. But Villa have the ball, and all the outfield players inside the Middlesbrough half again, as Cash plays it from right to left to his fellow fullback Moreno. Chests it down and gets the ball back from Ramsey in the box. He goes to ground, and the referee says no penalty for Villa, because we don't have VAR this evening, as Matty Cash in a central position, 40 yards from goal, plays it back to Konsa. Now to Konsa's left is Longley. Longley looks up, takes a touch. He's got support from Moreno outside him, comes inside to Duran instead, who feeds Matty Cash now, who just then was the furthest Villa outfield player back. They are golfed inside the Middlesbrough final third here, as the ball sent in now from the left looking for Duran, and it's headed out of play for another Villa corner, and into double figures now for corners.
Middlesbrough got everyone back. They've got the furthest player is around the halfway between the goals and that, but they are just defending now. Villa got loads of possession. Offside.
The flag has gone up again. You can't see Aston McPhee now, he's disappeared, because that particular set piece has seen the flag go up on this near side, and we're going to see a couple of changes made by Michael Carrick now, because two experienced players of his squad, Emmanuel Latte-Lath, who is the leading scorer, he turned 25 on New Year's Day, 7 goals this season for the man born in the Ivory Coast. But it's Johnny Howson who'll come on first, the very experienced midfielder who's 35 years of age now. He's made 28 appearances in the FA Cup, famously beating Manchester United with Middlesbrough on penalties in 2022, and Howson picks up the armband from Hackney, who was starting his first game in a little while. And the other change sees Latte-Lath come on for Middlesbrough up front to replace Josh Coburn.
Yeah, it's all part of the game plan, because they've got to the hour mark. The score still 0-0. They try to throw a bit more experience on, hopefully try and take the game to Aston Villa just a little bit more. I just saw the penalty claim as well, and that looked like there might have been a little something in it.
Latte-Lath joined from Atalanta back in August. He had 8 loan spells in Italy and Switzerland before joining Borough in the summer, and he's on now as Middlesbrough come forward. It's a ball which Emi Martinez reads well, darts out of goal. He's done that pretty well and pretty effectively throughout the game so far, the Argentinian.
His starting position is very, very good anyway. He's an international class keeper, he's a World Cup winning goalkeeper, and his position is very, very good. His organisation is very good. He doesn't get caught out, especially in the standing position. From his starting position, he's always favourite to win the ball.
Villa, you'd say, are in the ascendancy, but still a tough one to call at the moment. 59 on the clock, 0-0 between Middlesbrough and Villa on BBC Radio WM Sport. Tom Marlowe and Gary Thompson with you on 95.6 FM on DAB and on Freeview Channel 722 and the BBC Sport website and BBC Sounds app, as Cash, not for the first time in this second half, drives the ball from right to left to release his full-back Moreno. Now Ramsey comes in field looking for Duran. We wonder how long it'll be before we might see the likes of Ollie Watkins. Dendoncker takes a touch and lets fly, and the goalkeeper does well to hold on to it inside the 6-yard box with Duran closing in. That's good handling from Tom Glover, the Australian, in goal.
Yeah, it's worth a pop from that distance. I mean, they're trying to work the ball too much. They get it into wide areas, coming back inside, trying to play the ball, play little 1-2s, and that. This time Dendoncker gets the ball at his feet, and that's a strike. It's worth having a go at it, at the goal.
One in his last 2 games, Dendoncker, at Manchester United, of course. As Middlesbrough come forward now, reminder, Villa have hit the woodwork in this second half, as Chelsea go ahead now against Preston. Brozier has scored for the Stamford Bridge side, who are ahead finally in their 5:30 kickoff. 0-0 here, waiting for the breakthrough between Championship Middlesbrough and Premier League Aston Villa. Maybe it'll come now, as the ball sent forward to Latte-Lath, who pokes it back to Rodgers, encouraged to shoot by the home fans, crowded out by the white Villa shirts, who clipped the ball away looking for Jacob Ramsey on halfway. Middlesbrough have it back, and the home fans encouraged as Howson plays it out to the right hand side now, and Isaiah Jones, who's got 4 red shirts to his left, into the box it goes, and Rodgers back with Jones again. He's got support from Barlassa behind him, feeds him now. Howson out to the right hand side, and Jones again. Jones has got Rodgers in support. Moreno keeping a very close eye on what's going on the Middlesbrough right wing. Now Barlassa out to the right, and Jones takes a touch. There are 3 in the box to aim for here, but he's run it out of play, and that attack comes to nothing, and it stays 0-0. Gary Thompson
just have to be careful, because Middlesbrough, decent possession of the ball, they're working the ball out wide, but if the ball's on the right hand side, their left wing back is pushing on. and he's getting towards the far post, and so if the ball beats the Villa players, he's got to strike a goal.
This is the only 5:30 kick-off in the FA Cup without a goal at the moment. Chelsea 1, Preston 0, Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff 0, and Swansea 1, Morecambe 0. I suppose if you look at the pyramid, Sheffield Wednesday are about 13 places below Cardiff in the Championship. Not really a shock though in that one, as we are reminded of Aston Villa's recent FA Cup form on the screen just in front of us, which doesn't make very nice reading, as Longley plays it out to the left-hand side and Alex Moreno just short of halfway. Dendoncker in close support to his right-hand side. Moreno takes a touch, but a space to run into here. Now Ramsey on the left, back to Moreno. Duran patiently watching on the Villa striker as Konsa picks it up in the centre circle. Now Matty Cash, 0-0 the score, 62 on the clock on BBC Radio WM. Draws for Blues and Wolves in this competition. Defeat for Walsall. Baggies play tomorrow against Aldershot. That will be on BBC Radio WM on all frequencies from 1:45. Villa have given the ball away. Bailey tries in vain to win it back as Borough play from left to right now, with Barlassa out to that right hand side and the wing back Isaiah Jones. Jones diagonally forward to Morgan Rogers. Rogers takes it away from Dendoncker, who does well to slide in and win it back for Unai Emery's side, who will try and break here with Bailey in lots of space on the right hand side, and he's been picked up now. Bailey sprinting forward for Aston Villa on his left foot. Oh, just as he prepared to take the shot, in stepped Bangura, and he's gone down. McGinn with the shot, but the referee has blown his whistle. There was a foul on Alex Bangura, and it'll be a free kick for Middlesbrough, with the score still at 0-0. I'm just looking down to see Ollie Watkins and Moussa Diaby warming up. Douglas Luiz is there as well with his yellow bib on.
I think you get into 60 minutes, 65 minutes and still score 0-0. You know changes have to be made for Middlesbrough. That's what they wanted to do, get to this point and then maybe have a go for it. For Aston Villa now, you're looking to the point where you don't want to replay, you want to finish this game off. And so like you'll be looking at your big guns now and thinking we're going to have to throw some bodies on here.
At Sport BBC WM on X if you want to speak to us during the game. 08081 009956 Villa fans to speak to Daz Hale and Gary Thompson at the end of the game as Middlesbrough try and play the ball in. On the far side it was Isaiah Jones who comes off Moreno for a throw in for Michael Carrick's team. Carrick, who took over back in the autumn of 2022 when Chris Wilder was sacked. He's won 4 of his last 6 games. They've got a very exciting cup tie on the horizon in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday at home to Chelsea in the semi-finals before a trip to Millwall and then a home game against Rotherham. Villa after this one have got Everton away next Sunday. That will be on BBC Radio WM. I think Mike Taylor's alongside you, Gary, for that one at Goodison Park before a bit of a gap in the league for Aston Villa. Newcastle then on the 30th. So a replay isn't a complete catastrophe, is it, for Aston Villa, given there's not as many games. Middlesbrough coming forward now on the right hand side. White plays the ball across. Great sliding challenge in there from Longley to prevent the ball from getting any closer to the Middlesbrough striker, but that was good work down the right hand side again. Isaiah Jones with the ball in, sliding in, a good interception, and it's poked away for Middlesbrough's second corner of the game.
Yeah, it's all about carrying the ball and just waiting for your players to make the run. Isaiah Jones is making the run, he's held his run, he played in and he's whipped the ball across. Villa get a block on it, but now you can hear the Middlesbrough fans, they all feel as if there's something going to happen for them.
65 on the clock, corner from the far side. 4 red shirts in the box to aim for here. Looking for Clark was the set piece, but it's headed away by Bailey. And as far as Jones again, poked back out to the right hand side. Ball sent in, flicked off Moreno's head. Who will it land for here? Matt Clark was there, but it's sliced over his own crossbar by Esri Konsa, and the home side putting the pressure on. Another corner.
Yeah, and I was saying in the first half, the Villa were just coming onto the game and you could feel they was going to get something. Now the tables have turned. Middlesbrough are getting more opportunities. They are creating trouble. They're getting balls into the penalty area. Villa are slicing at the balls and just need a little bit more composure now and get themselves back to the way they're playing, because they now seem to just be a little bit panicky.
Dan Barlassa, former England under-18 international. Barlassa with the corner, bends it towards the back post looking for Clark again, who's having his shirt pulled out to the right hand side, and Jones plays it back. Greenwood with a high ball in towards the back post. It's hit across by the Middlesbrough man, a low ball towards the penalty spot, cleared away by John McGinn. Lucas Engel, the centre half, was in there, but it's back with Emi Martinez in the Villa penalty area, and we're going to see 3 Aston Villa players coming off the bench in just a second. The men I was mentioning actually, I think Douglas Luiz and Moussa Diaby, plus Nicolo Zaniolo off the bench for Aston Villa for the last 24 minutes. We'll see who they come on for shortly. Duran's down on his haunches at the moment. He's taken a knock to his shoulder. He's just trying to do the sort of the circular movement with his right shoulder, isn't he? He's in a little bit of pain as Middlesbrough come forward, and just for the moment they look to be in the ascendancy as Cash does well and Kamara clears away towards McGinn. But the home fans are sensing something here. Yeah,
they smell that they're getting a lot of possession. They're winning the second balls. They're getting possession back, and they're actually carrying the ball. Their possession, control of the ball, and possession of the game has been pretty good. Villa need to wrestle possession back the way things are at the minute, because Middlesbrough are getting lots more possession than they did have in the first half.
And it will be a quadruple change shortly. Ollie Watkins as well, ready to come on. Rodgers with a low ball across. Who's it going to land for here? Well, luckily from a Villa perspective, it's Jacob Ramsey just outside the penalty area. Donker with some good footwork to take it away from Barlassa, and now Villa will break down the left-hand side with Douglas Luiz, Diaby, Zaniolo and Watkins preparing to come on from the bench, and that, I suppose, is a compliment to Michael Carrick and his side, who have kept this game at 0-0 midway point of the second half.
Extremely well organised. You'd be saying we get through 15 minutes, get through half an hour, we get to half time and it's still 0-0. You've got a great chance in this game. It's got to 60 minutes now, and they're causing Aston Villa more problems now. Villa starting to get possession back, but it was only natural the big guns were going to come on.
Dendoncker spins and plays the ball back to Konsa on halfway in the centre circle to his left hand side, and Longley. Kamara in a bit of space in midfield, back to the Frenchman Longley, who plays it forward now to Ramsey. Moreno to his left hand side. Ramsey feeds the Spaniard now. Moreno watched very closely by Isaiah Jones. The Villa fans you can hear away to the right hand side as Konsa picks the ball up in a central position, denied by the post earlier. Cash lets go of the shot, which is deflected off target, and the Middlesbrough defence deal with it and come away with it with Bangura now. Bangura to his left hand side, and Greenwood thought about playing it back but instead comes forward, and Cash does well to get his body in the way and clear it, and that will be the invitation for the 4 Villa substitutes to come on. Ollie Watkins gets a tap on the back from Unai Emery and Zaniolo as well. So John Duran, which isn't a surprise, will make way because Ollie Watkins will come on for him. How have you seen his 68 minutes or so?
He's worked quite hard. He's had a couple of shots, but like all strikers, he wants that goal. He wants that couple of goal opportunities. He hasn't been isolated, but Villa have not worked the ball to him quickly enough so he can cause more problems and show what he's got. I mean, he's a decent player. He just needs a bit more of the ball. He needs more games. He'd be disappointed he's not scored today because there were opportunities for him. But myself as a centre forward, I would say, give me more opportunities. Get me balls in the areas where I can go and cause problems.
So the big hitters are on off the bench. Ollie Watkins for John Duran. Nicola Zaniolo has replaced Leon Bailey. Moussa Diaby in for John McGinn, and Douglas Luiz for Leander Dendoncker. It's a very strong Villa side to end this game at the Riverside. It's 0-0 on BBC Radio WM on all frequencies this evening as Middlesbrough play the ball forward to Latte Lath. Out comes Martinez again. It's that brilliant starting position. The flag, I think, was going to stay down, but that's good goalkeeping again to read the danger.
Keeper's on his toes. You look at the back line, Martinez is always looking and thinking, well, if they play it down there, I'll get myself in this position. His starting position is absolutely superb. He's always going to be favourite to get the ball, and to be fair, yet again, he's won the ball and set Villa on the attack, but they got possession of the ball again. But Middlesbrough will try this more often than not, just try and get the ball down the side at the back line.
Chelsea 3, Preston 0 is the score there. Silva and Sterling making that game safe for Pochettino's side. 0-0 at half time it was.
He's offside.
Villa coming forward down the left hand side with Longley, but the flag is up on this near side. You can hear the exasperation from Gary Thompson with 20 minutes remaining. Villa seeking their first win in 8 years in the FA Cup since January 2016, but they're being frustrated by Middlesbrough on Teesside.
Yeah, the organisation is very, very good. Longley's carrying the ball. Moreno's trying to make an angle for him, but he's gone himself wide, but he's actually started running forward. You've got to pull wide and almost get chalk dust on your boots, and that way you've got your spots. You can just look along and see the angle where the ball's going to be played.
Middlesbrough again playing the ball out from the left back area, and again doing it fairly convincingly and tidily, but Villa have it back in the centre circle here with Clement Longley. Now Nicola Zaniolo picks the ball up on the right hand side. Zaniolo scored a couple of late goals for Villa recently in the Conference League in Bosnia, that 1-1 against Zrinjski Mostar.
You have to say his 2 goals have been very, very good. The first one was a great touch and a good finish. He picked the ball up just in around the 6-yard box. The second one was a header.
That Sheffield United one, was it? Very
shades of Alan Gilzine about it. It was a quality header.
Well, I mentioned Thiago Silva and Raheem Sterling scoring in a couple of minutes for Chelsea. They're 3-0 up against Preston. Same score between Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff, and Swansea 1, Morecambe 0. It remains in the other 5:30 kickoffs. Hull 1, Birmingham City 1, and Southampton 4, Walsall 0 in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Lukas Djukovic and Donovan Daniels, we've got interviews with them after the full-time whistle here at the Riverside. Matty Cash and Alex Bangura just having a disagreement as they traipse back towards the Villa half.
Yeah, Bangura wasn't happy with Cash's challenge, and they've had a couple of words. I think Cash has just pushed him away. But the one thing is not get riled now. You've got to keep your concentration. You've got to get possession of the ball and get the ball into areas. And you've got the likes of Ollie Watkins playing to areas in Derby where they can hurt Middlesbrough. At the minute, they get loads of possession, but not really threatening too much.
Cleared away by Tom Glover. There's that famous stat, isn't there, in the Premier League that Unai Emery hasn't had a 0-0, which I assume is probably the same in the cup competitions in England as well. He lost when he was in charge of Arsenal at home to Liverpool in his only sort of experience in the FA Cup when he was in charge of the Gunners. Sent in from the left-hand side by Engel, cleared away by Esri Konsa. It's 1 win and 2 defeats in this famous old competition for Villa's manager. There's Cash. Well, he's going to get a yellow card here, Matty Cash, because that's the second moment in the space of a couple of minutes for Villa's right back. 7th of the season for Matty Cash.
It's good feet as well. The ball got played. Great first touch. It was a Greenwood. He picks the ball up. He gets the ball on his left foot onto his right foot. Matty Cash goes flying and he gives away a free kick. As you say, 90 seconds ago, he was in a bit of bother. He's just got himself booked, and you can't really argue about that.
There was a win against Blackpool and a defeat against Manchester United for Unai Emery in charge of Arsenal. Of course, his only FA Cup tie in charge of Aston Villa was that one against Stevenage last January, which he's still very angry about, which we're hearing with Das Hale before kick-off. As on this near side, Boubacar Kamara in a battle with Sam Greenwood, and Villa come away with it. There was a foul, there was a shirt tug on Kamara, and it'll be a Villa free kick deep inside their own half by the corner flag.
I thought he was going to give the free kick about 20 seconds before that, because
it was a short and a shirt pull, wasn't there, on Boubacar Kamara?
But finally he's given Villa an out, and Middlesbrough will be unhappy because they've got themselves in a situation where they've got them trapped in the final third, and they give away a silly free kick and gives Villa a chance to get themselves and play their out of trouble.
0-0 with 16 minutes remaining between Borough and Villa on BBC Radio WM. Tom Marlowe and Gary Thompson with you. Tom and Tomo on Teesside as Konsa comes to the right hand side and Matty Cash.
You'd be keen to get that win in.
Watkins is making a run. Cash elects to keep the ball on halfway. Plays it back to Konsa again. It was Tom and Tomo on Teesside in the teeming rain, but it has stopped now. The conditions are a little bit better, if a little cold in the northeast, as Douglas Luiz takes his first touches since coming on. Cash to his right. Cash drives it out to the left-hand side. That's a favoured ball from the Villa right back in this second half, as Moreno makes tracks and goes to ground and wins a free kick. You just wondered there was a heavy touch from Moreno, and he went to ground quite a long way after the challenge came in, but he has got a free kick for Villa in a very inviting position on their left wing.
Yeah, he picked the ball up, and it was just a race with him and Jones, but he's actually picked the ball up. As you say, I think his touch was just a little bit loose. He's pushed it a little bit too far, but he's managed to buy the free kick, and hopefully from there Villa can cause them more of a problem, because that's a cheap free kick to give away.
08081 009956 to react to this game and the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Blues with a draw, Walsall with a 4-0 defeat at Southampton. Das Hale and Gary Thompson with the post-match phone-in with you. 08081 009956. Can Villa get the goal that will give them their first win in this competition for 8 years? They have a free kick on the left-hand side, 76 on the clock. The substitute Douglas Luiz will deliver. Luiz with the ball in, it's flicked towards the back post, and it's too high for Alex Moreno. It's flicked out of play for a corner, but that was another opportunity for Villa from a set piece.
It looks like the flick near post was a Middlesbrough player, because he's got the far post, and you got Moreno coming in round the back, and it's just a bit too high for him, but it looks a great opportunity there for a second.
It was Latte Lath, the Middlesbrough substitute, who has flicked a header out of play. Villa's 11th corner of this game. Douglas Luiz is on set-piece duty. He delivers now. Austin McPhee watches on as it bounces inside the penalty area, but Middlesbrough are able to clear the ball away. Martinez leaves it for Matty Cash to track back and play it back to the Argentinian, who sweeps the ball to the left-hand side, and Jacob Ramsey. Rogers loses his footing, so Ramsey takes the opportunity to take a few more touches and come forward here. Longley has stayed forward from the corner, and he's won a free kick for Villa, which they thought about taking quickly, but he'll make his way into the box now for Douglas Luiz to deliver.
Well, Longley had a man, he got up to the ground, he had someone standing on him, and he could have just played the ball, and obviously you get booked for that, but Longley got up, just put the ball down and got himself into the penalty area, so Villa have another opportunity to go and cause a problem from here. But I think it's Moussa Diaby standing behind the keeper this time. I was
just going to say, Bailey in the first half. Now Moussa Diaby is more or less on the goal line here for this free kick. Aston Villa then with a set piece, 13 to go. Luiz with the ball into the penalty area, headed away by the Middlesbrough defence. One back by Kamara, but the referee blows his whistle. There's a foul on the Middlesbrough defender in the end, and it will be a free kick for Michael Carrick's team.
Yeah, that's what you don't want. The ball played into an area, you give away a cheap free kick and gives them a chance to get out and get a breather. But to be fair to Middlesbrough, for 77 minutes gone, it's still 0-0. They've had a couple of half opportunities, Villa have had a couple of opportunities, but I don't think either side wants this to go to a replay.
No. Middlesbrough without a win against Villa in their last 5 matches, 1 draw and 4 defeats. The cameras have panned towards Jonathan Woodgate, the former Middlesbrough defender, and he's the first team coach here now under Michael Carrick.
That was a player, he was. John Woodgate was a decent footballer.
I remember the Real Madrid debut that he had. He scored a couple of own goals in that game. Did he get sent off as well? I can't remember.
I think he did.
Cash from the ball forward. Watkins is there, but the goalkeeper comes out and the flag has gone up, and it will be a free kick. But Middlesbrough are in a bit of a hurry. Barlaser facing his own goal, and they've got to be careful here. They've dealt with everything very well when they've looked like they're going to come unstuck when they're playing the ball away. But again, just then when it looked like they showed too much to Matty Cash. And now Villa do have possession on their right wing. Zaniolo out to the right to Cash, but it's won in there by Engel as Zaniolo slid in. And Engel continues his run, and now Middlesbrough will come forward. Engel throwing it into the path of Latte Lath, who gets in the wrong side of Esri Konza. Latte Lath takes a touch, Konza stands up to him, is pinballing around inside the box. Martinez just wants to dive down and get a hand onto it, and eventually he picks the ball up, but there was danger there when the Middlesbrough number 9 was through. But he was forced wide by Konza, who did really well in the end.
That's some serious pace there, but as you say, you just check back and Konza managed to get a touch on it, and the keeper came flying out, but it was a bit of a melee, and I think it's a goal kick that.
Yeah, Ramsey with a good little run down the left-hand side, but a heavy touch, and he's shown too much of it, and it will be a goal kick for Middlesbrough.
But Middlesbrough are timing their runs quite well against his high line that they're playing. They're timing the runs pretty well. Latilap is very, very quick as well. Just holds his run just a couple of yards, and then all of a sudden he gets himself in, and the ball's been played at a decent pace. Keeper can't get there, and Latilap gets on the end of it. But yeah, they are timing their runs pretty well. Aston Villa still looking to force the game with 10 minutes or 11 minutes to go now. You want to get this game finished.
We are being treated to a semi-light show, aren't we, from the Middlesbrough fans with the lights on their mobile phones. I wonder when I think they originally put it up for Keith Lamb, the chief exec we were talking about. We had a moment's applause for him before the kick-off. This 77-year-old. We're into the 80th minute now, indeed, at the Riverside. 0-0 it remains. Is anybody going to get a goal? Middlesbrough haven't beaten a Premier League side at this stage of the competition since 2001 when they beat Bradford. Villa haven't beaten anyone in this competition. Well, you have to say it as it is in the last 8 years.
That's fair. He was building up and then said anyone.
Since the Wickham victory, 2-0. The likes of Kieran Clark and Micah Richards and Kieran Richardson, Scott Sinclair, Rudy Justed up front for Villa.
You threw some names out there.
Cold Tuesday evening, I remember it. I was there. It was put off by the Wickham away kit more than anything. Garish yellow and orange that they wore, and Villa took a long time before they broke through with Kieran Clark. About 76 minutes on the clock, I think. Trissa Garner-Gay making it safe right at the end for 2-0, but then a 4-0 defeat in round 4, and then 7 defeats in a row in round 3. Zaniolo plays it inside to Diaby. Might this be the moment for Villa in the FA Cup? Diaby back to Douglas Luiz, just outside the D, outside of the foot, trying to feed Jacob Ramsey. Villa with Kamara trying to win it back. Luiz and now Kamara. Matty Cash plays a ball driven towards Moreno. Moreno cuts it back. Diaby misses his kick.
Oh my word.
That was a moment for Moussa Diaby, but he gets it all wrong, and Middlesbrough come away with the ball. It stays 0-0 with 8.5 minutes remaining at the Riverside. 4 Middlesbrough men forward in this attack. Latte Lath has it. He's got Rodgers in front of him. He was dragged back by Longley and Louise, and it will be a Middlesbrough free kick in a good looking position now.
And that is the best chance that Villa had that they didn't really take. The ball gets played in, headed, knocked back to Moussa Diaby, and he's got his feet in a tangle, completely missed the ball. That was a great opportunity, but Middlesbrough then take the ball up to the other end and get themselves a free kick in a decent area. I think one of the Villa players, Douglas Louise, has got booked, but that was a great opportunity there.
Got to say, it's been a long time since we've seen a chance, really. Middlesbrough haven't really had one at all in the second half. There was that moment there when Latte Lath and Martinez dived down onto it, but Colte in the post on 53, Moreno with a volley over the bar on 54, Dendoncker with a shot from distance on 60, and that's really it until just then, with Diaby missing his kick.
Hey, so Michael Carrick, you've done it ever so well, because you've limited him to not too many opportunities. Villa have had an awful lot of possession, but not caused problems with that possession. And Middlesbrough going into the 82nd minute, and it's still 0-0. They've got a free kick in a good area now. For them, they feel that they've done this perfectly. They've got themselves after 60 minutes. It's still 0-0. They've thrown the big bodies on for them. Villa have had to throw their big boys on as well now, and now we've got a game on our hands for the last 10 minutes.
There's a triple substitution being made by Michael Carrick, which sees Alex Gilbert, the Birmingham-born attacking midfielder, Dale Fry, who missed out from the start today. He was in the New Year's Day lineup against Coventry in that defeat. Hayden Coulson, the left-sided, well, he can play in defence and midfield. He is on as well. 3 changes made by Michael Carrick to join Johnny Howson and Emmanuel Latte Lath on the field. Middlesbrough free kick from the right hand side, sent in towards Dale Fry. The flag has gone up on the far side for an offside, and it will be a free kick for Aston Villa.
I think the Middlesbrough fans were hoping there was a penalty. It did look like there was a handball in there, but the lad was offside to start with anyway. I think it's Douglas Louise or Konza. Ball's been played, and I think it might have come off his hand, but the referee really blew up for it.
No VAR, of course, in the FA Cup games outside of the Premier League, in terms of the Premier League stadiums. I don't know, maybe you do, Tomo, whether the replay, if we're ticking towards that now, will have VAR if it's at Villa Park, which is obviously a ground that has it in the Premier League every week.
Yeah, I actually do not know.
Zaniolo with the corner! Just wide. Nicolo Zaniolo letting fly, and it whistled past the left post, and that was inches away from the Italian to breaking the deadlock, but it stays 0-0.
That looks a wonderful strike as well. Ball's been played to Zaniolo, he's picked it up, ball's been played about 30 yards to him, he's picked the ball up, he's come inside on his left foot, he's always got one thought in his mind, but it just bends, but just goes past the post. But that's a great opportunity. We've
been treated to some good goals in the third round. Pedro Porro, of course, for Spurs. That was a goal, strike, wasn't it, against Burnley late on to light up that particular fixture. I think Coventry scored a good one against Oxford, we were hearing on the way up as well, but that would have been up alongside them. Tommy Doyle's goal for Wolves at Brentford was equally special as well, to give Gary O'Neill's side a replay.
Zaniolo's goes in there, that's going to rival them. That was a great effort.
Right up there, just whistles past the post and stays 0-0, but Villa trying to seize the moment now on the left hand side. It's played back to Boubacar Kamara, to Konsa. They're all inside the Middlesbrough half again, the outfield players. They've got to be a little bit careful to give it away, but the ball sent forward by Douglas Luiz towards Diaby, sliced clear in the end by Lucas Engel. 0-0.
84 minutes gone. Villa just turning the screw a little bit. Middlesbrough, they've done ever so well. They're well organised. They'll be hoping just to get a half chance before we get to the 90 minutes. But Villa have got control of this game now. They're moving the ball pretty well, and that Zaniolo effort has really lifted the Villa players and the crowd.
Well, only 5 teams in England have won the FA Cup more times than Aston Villa's 7. It hasn't been a competition they've enjoyed in recent years, but as it stands, they're going to be taking Middlesbrough back to Villa Park. But wait, Morgan Rodgers has it for the home side on the right hand side, sends the ball in. Oh, good goalkeeping by Martinez just outside the 6-yard box to dive down gratefully onto the ball and prevent Latte Lath from what would have been an easy finish.
Excellent play by Morgan Rodgers, picks the ball and plays the ball into the exact area you want, just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Keeper's read it, good hands by the keeper. He's flew out, he's picked the ball up, and he's kept hold of it as well. And for Villa, the damage has been lessened, but that was a great bit of play by Morgan Rodgers.
Now Cash, I was a little bit worried then actually. No, he stopped Matty Cash. He's moaning at his goalkeeping Martins. I thought he might have pulled a hamstring or something then when he stretched his right leg out to control it, but he's I think he's okay. I don't know what was wrong there with Cash and Martinez. Threaded forward now by Douglas Luiz to Moussa Diaby. Out to his left-hand side and Moreno. Might this be the moment? Moreno's cross is blocked out of play for a 12th Villa corner.
Aston Villa, I keep saying they're turning the screw. They're getting an awful lot of possession now. Diaby's picking the ball up into them little pockets. He's working the ball out wide. Villa have got another corner from it. Let's see what Austin McPhee's got in his locker again, but because he's not gone through the card so far, but we've seen quite a few free kicks or different variations of corners and whatever against the opposition.
He's watching on, arms folded, Austin McPhee, for this latest Aston Villa set piece. 3 minutes of normal time remaining, and Douglas Luiz takes it short to Moussa Diaby. Luiz has it again with Cash just behind him. Cash takes a touch, hits the shot, deflected in!
Oh my, no.
Cash has scored for Aston Villa. And finally, it looks like Villa are going to taste victory in this competition for the first time since January 2016. The corner was worked short from the far side to Matty Cash, who took a touch and a deflected effort takes it past Tom Glover into the bottom left corner of the net. Cash has 4 for the season. Villa are heading for round 4. It's Middlesbrough 0, Villa 1.
You've got Matty Cash, who doesn't play an awful lot of the minute. Esri Konsa's been playing at right back, but Matty Cash picks the ball up. He's worked ever so hard today, picks the ball up. I think it's Douglas Luiz. They take the short corner, goes out to Matty Cash. There's not an awful lot on. He takes a touch, he takes a strike, takes a bit of a deflection, which is what beats the keeper, to be honest. Yeah. But it's just enough. Like
sometimes you need these deflections.
Exactly.
Don't you?
Into Diaby, Douglas Luiz gets the ball, play out to Matty Cash, takes a touch at his feet. The deflection's done. He keeps a bit slow to get down to it. But who's going to complain? Aston Villa 1, as Middlesbrough 0.
The deflection just outside the D.
Is it Latilat? He's turned his back on it.
It was. Yeah. It was the striker. The substitute just come on. It just snuck into the bottom left corner, didn't it? That deflection did all the work to curl it and bend it past the goalkeeper Glover, who just beats his hands in frustration.
This is why you don't have strikers in and around their areas, because they cause problems. He's turned his back on it, give away. It's a cheap effort. He's turned his back on it, and the deflections are what took it past the keeper.
So Matty Cash is on target for Aston Villa, his 7th FA Cup appearance. 3 for Villa, 4 for Forest, and his first goal in this famous competition. His best memory would have been that Forest 4-2 against Arsenal in January 2018. That might well be usurped by this one, a goal which has Aston Villa and Unai Emery's side ahead as we close in on full time. 89 on the clock. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. Matty Cash on target for the first time since Hibernian in the Conference League game that they had at the end of August, after that 2 against Burnley just before it.
He had a little spell, Matty Cash, where he not scoring goals for fun, but it was popping up and he was nicking goals. He got a couple against Burnley as well. He looked very, very good. And lately he's not been figuring too much.
No.
We thought maybe he had a knock because he wasn't on the bench at all, but he's come back today with a vengeance. He scored a goal, and to be fair, he's worked very hard today.
Borough 0, Villa 1, 90th minute. Zaniolo plays the ball inside, just in front of Jacob Ramsey. I don't think Ollie Watkins has had a touch yet, has he? Well, he might now, because Douglas Luiz sweeps it out to the Villa striker. Watkins, 4 forward in this attack. Watkins on the left side of the penalty area, tees up Douglas Luiz just outside the box. He was unselfish. I thought he might have had a go there, the Brazilian who scored the winner very calmly from the penalty spot, too calmly almost, against Burnley late on in the Premier League just before the new year.
From where the referee blew the whistle, it was the longest wait for a penalty to be taken, but fair play, he finished it off. It
was proper reality TV, or Saturday night telly prime time suspense, wasn't it, from Douglas Luiz at Villa Park last Saturday. We're into 4 minutes of stoppage time at the Riverside. The goal scorer Matty Cash has it, spins and plays it to Zaniolo. He's shown a few good touches, hasn't he, since coming on, Zaniolo.
He doesn't give the ball away. He's got good possession. He's big and strong. He's got good feet as well. He carries the ball quite well, and he has got a goal in him. To be fair, he's come on. He's looked quite lively.
Konsa just outside the penalty area. He'll take as long as he needs. Plays it back to Martinez. Now Kamara, his 50th Aston Villa appearance is going to end as it stands in a victory in the FA Cup third round. 08081 009956. React to the action, Villa fans, with Das Hale and Gary Thompson at the final whistle. Blues fans and Walsall fans making their way back into the West Midlands as well from the trips from Hull and Southampton respectively. Draw for Blues, defeat for Walsall, as Wolves also in the hat for round 4 on Monday night, as Middlesbrough win a late corner here, their fourth of the game, I should say.
I mean, they're going to have to throw the ball into an area and hopefully someone go and attack it. Aston Villa's organisation from corners has been pretty good so far, and as you say, with 3 minutes to go, just got to make sure you defend properly, and anything bounces, get yourself there, read the second ball and get yourself there and get a block on.
Well, it's the Villa fans singing at the moment. It's been a long time since they saw their side win in the Cup. Middlesbrough corner, late on at the Riverside. It's a low one. Watkins, well, it wasn't much of a clearance, and it's played back out to the right-hand side by Engel, to the corner kick taker on that side. A right-wing ball in towards Latte Lath, who heads it across. Suddenly there's a chance here for Middlesbrough, but the flag goes up on the far side. Suddenly there's a couple of red shirts and a bit of space inside the penalty area, but the flag has gone up, and it will be a free kick for Villa.
Yeah, they're just a bit slow going out. The ball gets played towards the far post, is headed not back in, but their two bodies are just a little bit slow to come out. Villa's organisation, they're up in a couple of steps and they've just left the space. You're offside there, and the linesman's flag goes up, and Villa not get away with it, but their organisation has got them out of what could have been a tricky situation. 2
minutes of stoppage time remaining at the end of this game. Tom Glover has been given man of the match. I think Dion Dublin's on commentary duty on television. So
you have to say he has done very well. He's made some very good saves, the keeper.
Yeah, he's done okay. He hadn't that much to do, has he? I just don't remember too many. A couple of Duran saves in the first half.
No, I'm not going to argue. I do think you've got to give him a little something there. Oh, hang on.
Middlesbrough trying to get an equaliser late on, and here's a real opportunity. It's played into the path here of Alex Gilbert, and that's brilliant defending, sliding in there. Jacob Ramsey, the energy of Villa's left-sided midfielder to get back, to track back and deflect it out of play. We're into the final minute now of stoppage time. Middlesbrough, this might well be the last chance.
92 minutes and Jacob Ramsey's covering ground. He sees the danger, smells the danger and gets a block in. This is a corner. Villa just got to defend, but fair play to Jacob Ramsey. That's proper defending.
Sam Greenwood, the man on loan from Leeds, on the far side to deliver Middlesbrough's fifth corner of the game, headed away by Zaniolo, who's made an impression since coming on. It's an offside against Greenwood as it's swept back out towards him on the far side, and that might just well be that, Gary Thompson. 20 seconds of stoppage time remaining.
And that's exactly what Unai Emery's doing. The organisation, they come up as a group. You get players left offside. Greenwood there, he's a little bit slow to react. He gets himself in an area. If they get the ball wide to him, he can play it back into the penalty box. Villa's come up, he's offside, not got away with it. Villa now, 93 minutes, that could be the last chance for Middlesbrough.
It might just be a second win in 5 away games for Unai Emery's side in all competitions here, after the defeat at Manchester United, of course, and the draw in Bosnia as well, and at Bournemouth, one at Brentford in the Premier League. The free kick is taken by Emi Martinez. Villa will be heading for round 4. The whistle goes from the referee, Rob Jones. And for the first time since 2016, Aston Villa fans can turn on the television on Monday night and see their side in the draw for round 4. Matty Cash on the money just before the end of this game. A shot from just outside the area, deflected off the Middlesbrough striker Latte Lath, and bending past the goalkeeper Tom Glover into the bottom left corner of the net. Esri Konsa had glanced a header off the post on 53 minutes. Moreno with a volley over the bar on 54. Dendoncker with an effort from distance on the hour mark as well. But Middlesbrough huffed and puffed, didn't test Emi Martinez nearly enough in the second half as they tried to get an equaliser. And as it is, Matty Cash has handed Villa their first FA Cup win in 8 attempts. The last time Villa beat Borough in the Cup, they went on to win it in 1957. There's a long way to go before that might happen and be replicated, but as the Aston Villa players go across to the travelling fans, all 4,000 of them who've made the long journey from the West Midlands, it's Cash who's made the difference. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. It has finished here.
And in Matty Cash, you got a player that's not really figuring for Aston Villa as well as many times as he would like to do. He's got a chance today. He's took his chance. He scored a goal. He's caused problems. He's played that diagonal how many times out to Moreno, time after time after time. He's defended well as well. So you have to say, on the balance, Aston Villa probably is nip and tuck. Middlesbrough set out a game plan, set out just to contain Villa and hopefully nick themselves a goal. They had to come out after about 60 minutes to really make a game of it. Matty Cash gets a goal. Aston Villa away from home have won the game, and yet again there's no 0-0 for Unai Emery.
Yes.
Aston Villa into the next round of the Cup. As you say, hasn't happened for quite a few years, and we were heading for the record. Finally, we're into the next round of the FA Cup. Absolutely delighted.
Well, Aston Villa does start 2024, their anniversary year, 150th anniversary year, in the same way as they ended 2023 with a victory. Villa cash in, Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1.
Oh, bloke.
Nice. Yes, and Matty Cash has Villa fans singing in the rain at the Riverside. Villa through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Replays for Blues and Wolves, both in the hat for Monday night's draw. The Saddlers go out. And what about West Bromwich Albion? They're the only West Midlands club with a home tie. They're at home tomorrow against Aldershot Town. Can they be joining them in the hat as well? So between now and 8 o'clock, Gary Thompson will be staying with us at the Riverside Stadium. And we want to take your reaction to all of the days...